In 1955, Claudette Colvin was 15 and was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery, Alabama bus to a white woman. The civil rights pioneer told CBS Mornings in 2021,
I could not move because history had me glued to the seat.
She says in her mind, civil rights leaders Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth had their hands on her shoulders. Colvin's refusal to give up her seat happened months before Rosa Parks did the same. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
There are new resignations at the Justice Department over the investigation into the fatal shooting of Renee Good. It comes as the surge of ICE agents is growing in Minnesota, despite local leaders and residents demanding they leave. CBS's Lana Zach in Minneapolis.
Sources tell CBS News several career prosecutors in the department's Civil Rights Division resigned in protest after they learned that there would be no civil rights probe into the fatal shooting of Renee Good. CBS News has also been able to confirm that 6 Minnesota federal prosecutors have resigned. According to the New York Times, it's because senior DOJ officials are pushing for a criminal investigation into Good's widow.
A Justice Department official says there's currently no basis for criminal civil rights probe in the Minnesota ICE shooting. There are reports the regime in Iran plans to start hanging anti-government protesters. The president was asked about it in an exclusive interview with CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel and is vowing to strike back in some form against Iran.
The end game is to win. I like winning.
How do you define that in Iran?
Well, let's define it in Venezuela. Let's define it with al-Baghdadi. He was wiped out. Let's define it with Soleimani. And let's define it in Iran, where he wiped out their Iran nuclear threat.
You can see the full interview on the CBS Evening News tonight. Former President Bill Clinton and First Lady Hillary Clinton refused to testify before the House Oversight Committee in its Jeffrey Epstein investigation. GOP Committee Chair James Comer.
No one's accusing Bill Clinton of any wrongdoing. We just have questions, and that's why the Democrats voted along with Republicans to subpoena Bill Clinton.
Nearly 15,000 nurses are on strike for a second day in New York City after the union failed to agree to a new contract. CBS News New York's Dick Brennan has more on what the nurses are looking for.
Nurses are calling for higher wages, better staffing, and increased protection from workplace violence.
We want a fair contract, so we want to save our health care, save our pension, and provide safe staffing for our patients.
This is CBS News.
I'm Andrew Garrett. Follow and listen to The Takeout on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, Governor Ferguson delivers his State of the State address in Olympia, but first, Nate Connors is at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, this report brought to us by Seattle Sports here in Seattle, North 5. We're pretty solid now from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. Of course, 2 left lanes are blocked for Revive I-5. Westbound 520 jams up in Montlake over to I-5. South 5 looking pretty good. You're going to slow just a bit there at the Ship Canal Bridge down to I-90. The drive to Everett from Bellevue in Seattle right now is looking good, pretty much wide open on both routes. Seattle to Federal Way is a half hour. We've got building volumes between Interurban and State Route 516. Very typical commute here. The Valley Freeway, Renton to Puyallup, pushing 50 minutes. Got a pretty solid backup, really, from Renton all the way into Puyallup with a couple short breaks here and there. And really, outside of that, the rest of this commute is either looking right on schedule or lighter than typical backups. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Governor Bob Ferguson delivering his State of the State address today, spotlighting a sweeping policy agenda. Once again, calling for a new millionaire's tax to give relief to small business owners and also to increase education funding. He says the wealthiest in the state are not paying their fair share.
That's not fair, that's not right, and that's why I'm calling for something truly historic, a millionaire's tax.
Critics fear the tax would eventually trickle down to all income brackets. Meantime, in Olympia, state lawmakers are considering a bill to allow privately owned labs to examine evidence in DUI cases. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains why.
The bill aims to prevent cases from going uncharged because of backlogs at the state lab. Seattle City Attorney Erica Evans says for DUIs, it currently takes 22 months to get lab results back.
Which means that if someone commits a DUI today in Seattle, it won't be until the end of the summer of 2027 that we can actually file charges in that case.
James McMahon with the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs says more money and resources would also solve the backlog issue. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Washington's highways took a big hit from last month's flooding. Now state transportation officials say damage is estimated at $40 to $50 million. WashDOT Steve Rourke told the House Transportation Committee.
I want to emphasize it is just that. It is an estimate. It does include our best estimate at our state force work and the work we are contracting out.
It is unclear how much federal aid will cover. Governor Ferguson plans to ask President Trump for a major disaster declaration to unlock that funding. Check your fridge. The FDA says a cheese recall now poses the highest health risk. More than 11,000 containers of grated Pecorino Romano may be contaminated with listeria. The cheese was shipped to 20 states, including Washington. Brands include Locatelli, Boar's Head, and Members Mark. Now to your weather updates. We are seeing mostly cloudy skies, couple of sun breaks this afternoon, and drying out, mainly dry all week long. Right now, 56 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show.
Yes.
Listener introduction line.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Why you enjoy the
Thank
show.
you.
Why? Let's learn.
I have a radio, and I have it plugged in, and I could hear you. You're the only station I can get in.
Okay, we'll take it. There we go. Only station. There you go. Woo! That radio plugged in. Is that a compliment?
Sure. Ish.
Yeah. I'm at day 2 here, beyond.
Yeah, look at this guy. Look like a hipster.
Put the glasses back on.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't need them. They're plastic. K2 Vision, don't worry. I still have my glasses. It's nothing. There's nothing there. All right. Let's dive into the John Curley Show. Oh, here we go. 1-888-973-5476. That's the best way to get in touch with us. Is David, the naked mailbox guy, going to come on?
Yes, he is.
Oh, good. We got a whole bunch of stuff to take care of. 2 pages. This is all you need to know. This is going to make you the smartest guy in the room until someone goes, where did you get that crap from? There we go. All right. I was thinking today is the day that I went on the air. First time ever, 1988 in Grand Junction, Colorado. I used to do the tradition. I'd call Mike Moran every year, the guy that hired me. I've done it a couple of times on the air.
Yeah.
And he's always like, oh, hey, John, how are you? And he doesn't seem to, he's always like, it's really nice for you to call, but anyway, how you doing? But I might do it off the air because it's the same story every time. But the importance of mentoring somebody. And how I had a mentor that helped me, and I try to help with other people as well. I've got a young gal out in Montana, Sophia, whose father died in a fishing accident, and then the Fisherman Memorial Fund in Seattle then finds a kid that tries to help go through college. So I met Sophia, and I said, I'll try to help her. So I'm going to try to mentor her as well. Plus, I'll tell you the story about a guy. I gave a speech at a college graduation, and then the guy walked across the stage, and then he decided he didn't want to be an accountant. More on that one in just a little bit. But, okay, day in history. It was, I can't see with my glasses on. First live public broadcast. How'd that one go? 1920. Okay. And then apparently on the 20th of January, what time are we all supposed to do this?
2 p.m.
Do we know why?
Kind of.
All right, good. More on that, of what you're supposed to be able to doing on the 20th, and don't worry, you won't be alone on that. And then our favorite, loudest Jew that we have on the show on a regular basis, Eitan's going to come on. The latest stuff that happened in New York City, and he also explains the 5 things that the Muslims and the Jews in Iran all have in common and why there should be peace. Turn down your radio for this one. It's
just slightly, because he's loud.
Very loud. Oh, I love having him on. Which one is this one with the? This is where our David, the naked mailbox guy. So he was a flight attendant for 10 years?
10 years.
There's a story that came up about a guy who tried to sneak his dead wife onto the plane and got caught. And I think we talked about this briefly, or it was in the news. And then David texts us in the middle of the show saying, I got a story that can beat that.
Yeah, he texted us about bodies on planes yesterday, unrelated to a body story.
It's all working out.
And then today there's a body story.
There you go. We get it. See that?
Come on.
It's quantum physics. And then have you seen the video of the 8-year-olds who are out there just going to town on each other in the hockey match? Yes. Now the story behind the scenes of that one. And these parents, again, we should bring back the stocks. Remember that? You put your head in the hole, put your hands up there, the laughing stocks, and people come by and throw tomatoes at you and stuff. We need to bring those back for all those parents that were involved in this. I'm big on that corporal punishment, that public stuff where they humiliate you and stuff. I like that.
Sounds entertaining.
You'll see, some of those countries, you rob and steal and then they cut your hand off. You don't see a lot of people, don't want to lose the other hand.
No.
A little bit of tough love for everybody.
Sales mayor doing, graffiti in Singapore anymore, is he?
A couple of lashes. Seattle's mayor facing scrutiny over a social media post. So she's standing there, Katie Wilson's standing there, and there's somebody standing next to her has got a sign. And now people are going after her saying, you can't be responsible for all the signs and all the flags when you're speaking, right? You're not directly associated with that stuff. But she was happened to standing next to somebody, and now she's got a little bit of a backlash on that one. It's like with Trump standing there, and the CNN cameras going all over the place trying to find a Confederate flag. Oh, there's a Confederate flag. Trump's a racist. Put them all back in chains. So Katie's got the same problem. A whole bunch of other stuff as well. And then Cliff Mass comes on because there's been an ongoing battle apparently between these weather nerds that are online predicting different things, and they all try to up one another. And then when the whole forecast falls apart, it becomes a big brouhaha. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, got it. All right. I was thinking. So I took about a $120,000 pay cut back in 1988, and I went on the air. It was January 11th or January 13th, somewhere in there. I had no idea how to do weather. I had bought the Golden Book of Weather. It was a small little book, so I learned high pressure, low pressure, and front. Those were the only three things I knew. And when I started Grand Junction, I was on the air for the first time at 5:30 in the afternoon. The problem was that nobody there knew how to work the Cavoris weather machine. It was a computer that would put the graphics up on the board. I called the guy that used to be the weather guy that had the job before me, who was fired because of a bit of a drinking problem. And when I called and asked for help, I said, hey, I just got the job. I'm taking over for you. Can you please tell me how to put the forecast in? Because I'm getting I got your forecast when you were there on Wednesday, but it's Thursday. Can you help me? And he said, yeah, what you need to do is push Command Alt Go yourself, and then hung up the phone. I was like, okay, Command Alt Go F yourself. Can't find that on here. So nobody would help me, and I just went on the air for the very first time as the weather man, and I was showing yesterday's maps, which you do a good job of predicting the weather when you're showing the map that was yesterday's map. And I just kept talking about, it's what we saw on Wednesday. I was horrible. I was using the clicker, which was a garage door opener. I would hit it, but then I didn't realize there was a 3-second delay. So when the map wouldn't change, I would point it at the TV, right at the screen. Anyway, I walked off the stage and I got out of there and I went back, and Paula was sitting in the little chair in this little office where the computer was that I didn't know how to work. And I remember she spun around in the chair and she looked at me, and my wife, she was as white as a ghost, and she said to me, can you get your old job back? I said, what? Is it possible that you could call and get your old job back selling bedpans? I said, was it really that bad? She said, oh, my God, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Well, it was the first day back in 1988, Grand Junction, Colorado. Mike Moran, the guy that hired me, was nice enough to man the phones as everybody was calling up concerned that I was dropped on my head as a child, didn't get enough oxygen, possibly had other sort of genetic forms of mental illness or retardation or something else. And he was answering the calls and telling people, give him a break. He's a nice guy. He's really going to come along. I happened to get a tape together, and I sent it to a friend of mine who knew somebody, and it got to a guy named Dick Mallory. Dick Mallory was the president of Gannett Television. He was running 36 television stations, and for some reason, he took pity on me and became my mentor. I remember spending $400 on a Christmas gift for him. Now, $400 was almost a month's salary there in Grand Junction, Colorado, but I thought, I'm going to spend the money. I'm going to buy him a beautiful shaving kit. It was, and it had a really nice beaver brush that you use if you make your own sort of shaving cream. And I sent him that, and I sent him an alligator bag that it went in, and didn't realize he had a beard. Didn't know that for about 2 years. I knew nothing about my mentor other than I could talk to him on the phone, and he helped me along the way. Mentoring was essential. Did you know that Hans actually was helping with Beethoven, a guy by the name, I forget his first name or last name, but he worked with Einstein. There's all these great stories about all of these people that were mentored by somebody. It's essential to mentor people. You have the knowledge, and you'll feel great about telling people stories about what you did in your previous life and how you were able to be successful, and the mentee would love to be able to get the help. You can help them along the way. I was giving a speech at a college, and after I finished, it was a graduation speech. This guy was walking across the stage, and he leaned over to me and he said, I don't want to be an accountant. I want to be a weatherman now. I said, okay, here's my phone number. Call me. And sure enough, he called the very next day. His name was Charlie Brown. And he told me that he decided he's always wanted to be in weather, but after hearing my speech and didn't want to be an accountant, that's what he wanted to be. So I told Rich Marriott, who was over at King 5 doing the weather at the time, I said, there's this guy named Charlie Brown. I met him. He walked across the stage in his cap and gown, and he said he wants to be a weatherman. Could you help him? And Rich Marriott said, oh, absolutely. Have him meet me at the station at 4:30. So I called Charlie Brown. I said, Charlie, 4:30, you need to be there. Rich is going to let you in the front door, and then you can work with Rich. He'll help you along the way, teach you all the weather stuff, because I wasn't doing weather at the time at King 5. And when Charlie Brown said, well, what will traffic be like at 4:30 in the afternoon? I said, oh, not in the afternoon, in the morning. And that is really the telltale sign as to whether somebody is really dedicated to this. So I asked Rich Marriott the very next day, did Charlie Brown show up? He goes, yeah, he showed up at 4:15 in the morning, and I opened the front door for him. And Rich ended up mentoring Charlie. And I went to follow his career. He ended up in Minnesota or Mississippi for a little while, and then Arkansas, and then I think he eventually got out of weather. But there was an example of somebody asking for help and somebody willing to mentor, and it all seemed to work out for them. A really nice thing that you can do for somebody else. And what you end up with is you end up having people that you're sort of pulling up along the way. They're not going to replace you. They're not going to beat you at the job. You and your knowledge and your wisdom will grow, and you'll be better for it. A couple of times it didn't work out for me. When I was in, Channel 8 in Springfield, Virginia, there were these kids who used to come through and take a tour of the weather station. I remember one time they're coming in, they're sitting there with me, and I'm showing them how to do the front. There you go. There's a high pressure system. I'm putting all the things in. I'd say to them, hey guys, you want to put here? You can put it on the map. You can put a smiley face and a sun and a cloud. And then I would say, okay, now here's the fun part. Let's all go get on TV. Well, what happened was after about 2 or 3 weeks of this, other schools heard that you can go there. The weatherman will help the kids understand weather, and then they'll put them on TV. Well, it got so popular that I would end up buying pizza for all of them on my own money, and we'd sit in there and we'd work with the computer, and then we'd all get on TV. One time, about 15 kids showed up, the biggest group I've ever had to get extra pizza. And then I said, okay, let's go get on TV. So we go around, we're waiting. And I said, now, guys, you stand off to the side. I'll do the forecast. And then when it's time for the extended forecast, you guys come on and you could do the extended forecast with me. Well, as they all entered the shot at the same time, the camera, which is automated, they were all black and I was white, and the iris on the camera opened all the way up in order to adjust to all the light colors of everybody's skin tone. And when it did, it opened all the way up and got stuck. And then I was just basically a white ghost with 2 black eyes in order for the camera to adjust to all the black skinned kids that were behind me. And I remember going like this. At that point, I looked like Casper the Ghost. You couldn't see anything else other than this white blob in front. And I'm going, well, here's the 5-day forecast, and my God, you guys make me look white, right? That's a comment I made. A big laugh from all of them, and we walk off. Well, and some guy that worked at the station was so insulted by that he demanded that I be fired. And they called me into the office the next day, and they said, you need to make a public apology. I said, for what? Well, what you said on the air when those kids were there, and I said, what did I say? Well, you said you make me look white. And they said, you just have to go on the air the next day and apologize. And I said, I'm not apologizing. I'm not going to apologize because it's not insulting, and the kids were having a good time with me, and this is a thing that I spend the money to buy these pizzas, and I spend time with these kids, and I give them my phone number if they need any help, and I'm not going to apologize. And they said, then we're going to suspend you for 2 days. I said, that's up to you. Your call, but I will not apologize for that. And then they called the guy in that had the problem with me. We had to sit there and have this discussion as to why he was offended by it. I said, what are you doing? What are you doing to help out the community? What are you doing? Are you spending money on pizza? You bringing people in? You spending time with them? He had no answers to any of that. And then with that, luckily, the news director at the time quietly said to me, okay, just apologize quickly the next day. So all I said was, yesterday I said something on the air that offended somebody that worked here at the station. And that was my apology. And they let it go. But the amazing thing was, one of those kids kept my number. And when I went to WUSA, Channel 9, down the street, now at the bigger market with more money, he kept in touch with me occasionally. And I tried to talk to him about TV and weather and other things like that. But eventually he moved on to other stuff. But the important part of the story is that you have knowledge that you can share with somebody that's younger and inexperienced, and they will eat it up. If they're a good mentee, they will eat up all that you have to offer them, and then they themselves will rise, and you'll feel better for it. You really will. You have great knowledge and great wisdom. Don't let it go to waste. There's somebody out there that could certainly use some help from you. As I mark this day, 1988, on January, was it today the 11th or 13th? 13th, yeah. Starting in Grand Junction, Colorado. Hoo-ha.
And now you know the rest of the story.
So bad.
I wonder if Mike's going to be sad that we didn't call him.
I'll call him. I'll call him off the air.
Okay.
Hey, John, how are you? It was funny when I said to him, because I was in sales. I was working him all the time on the phone when I sent the tape in. I said, Mike, you probably got a million other things to do. I do too as well. Why don't we do this? Let's make an appointment. What works best for you? Wednesday or Thursday, morning or afternoon? You come up with 3 questions. I'll have 3 questions. Let's get this thing done. Okay, John. So Wednesday morning. So you give him the choices that work for you. You don't say, can I call you? So I'd call him up on a Wednesday. Mike Moran, I got 3 questions. You got 3 questions? He goes, John, I have a question for you. How much money do you make? I told him, I said, I'm selling medical supplies, doing really well, making a lot of money. And I said, about probably maybe $130,000 or $120,000. He said, my God, I pay $9,600. And I was like, it can't be a year because it's TV. And I was like, I'll take that. He goes, really? I said, yeah. He goes, well, great, I'll hire you. And I thought, wait a minute. I feel like I hung up the phone. I went, wait, hold on, there's not a number here.
They're not paying much more these days.
Right, because I asked him, I said, why don't I fly out and have lunch with you? Fly out and have lunch? My God, John, Jesus, we're a teeny tiny little TV station. Yeah, good stuff.
Look at you now.
There we go. Look at me now, huh? On the radio. All right, here comes Nate. Check your traffic, Dathan.
All righty, this report brought to us by Seattle Sports. Nothing really out of the ordinary to report. Here in Seattle, North 5 is solid from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, where 2 left lanes are blocked for Revive I-5. And this has westbound 520 jammed up at Montlake Boulevard. This is going to become our new norm for the next 5 months through June before we catch a brief break for the World Cup. South 5, you're slow from 520 to I-90. It's less than 20 minutes right now from Linwood to Seattle, close to 10 minutes faster than normal. South 405, scattered backups between Bellevue and Renton. Bellevue to Renton's at 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, you're climbed to 40 minutes. You're backed up from Inner Urban past 516. Out in Maple Valley, southbound 169 is packed coming off 405 over to 154th out past the golf course. That's about a 3-mile backup. Looks like just volume here. Westbound 18 is packed from Military Road over to I-5, and Tacoma to Olympia plan on 40 minutes. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, here are the sad stories that can befall you during the winter. You know, you wake up in the morning, your feet hit the floor, you're like, wow, it is cold. What's happening here? And you notice when you go to touch the thermostat, that thing's not even on. You're like, oh, boy, here we go. Whatever is heating your house is no longer heating your house, and you got some big, big problems. And that's why you've got Home Comfort Alliance, written down on a piece of paper or in your phone, whatever it is, to be able to get in touch with the people at Home Comfort Alliance, because when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs, they are the ones to call. I can tell you from personal experience, they've come to the house in Sammamish, and then they came out to the barn, did great work. But importantly, for you, you could trust the folks that are coming in to take care of your home, to solve the problem. They're not going to come in there and take advantage of you, the fact that you don't have a heating or cooling unit that's working. They're going to fix the problem for you. You have them ready to go in case there's an emergency. Home Comfort Alliance. There's really no better organization that I can think of calling. You can see they've got all sorts of 5-star Google reviews. You'll love working with them, and maybe even talk to them about possibly getting in there a generator in your house so you don't have further problems. HomeComfortAlliance.com. When it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs, it's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
This is what the NFL playoffs are all about.
The Seahawks win the game!
A dominant Seahawks team, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
This is the vision that we had for our team.
Hosting a bitter rival.
Richard Sherman tips it!
In front of the best, loudest fans in the game.
Listen to the 12th man!
Let's go. Seahawks 49ers, Saturday night. Kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Some Democrats in Olympia are pushing a bill to ban federal immigration agents from wearing masks while in public. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says the measure is moving through the legislature this session.
The bill is designed to prohibit ICE and border agents from wearing masks during immigration raids. Anyone detained by an officer who violates that rule could then file a civil lawsuit seeking damages and attorney's fees. U.S. Attorney Pete Serrano says the bill threatens federal agents.
As of last fall, doxing increased by 1,000% and 8,000% death threats to our members of law enforcement community.
A similar law in California is now being challenged in federal court as unconstitutional. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Washington's Attorney General just filed his 50th lawsuit against the federal government since taking office last year. AG Nick Brown joined 11 other states in suing the Department of Health and Human Services. They argue a new policy illegally forces states, universities, and hospitals to follow rules that discriminates against transgender people or risk losing federal funding. HHS has not yet commented. Inflation is up nationwide, and it is even higher here in the greater Seattle area. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch has those numbers.
Nationally, the Consumer Price Index rose 2.7% over the past year, but in the Seattle area, it increased 3.1%. Food here went up 4.4% overall. That includes a 1.5% hike in your grocery bill and 7.6% increase eating out. Energy prices, including gas, advanced 7.2%. You're paying over 5% more for medical care and 1.7% extra for shelter. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
Microsoft says it's picking up the tab for the AI boom. Company President Brad Smith tells CNBC Microsoft will pay higher utility rates in communities where it's building data centers.
To ensure that we pay for our electricity costs and don't leave consumers picking up the tab. And that's one significant part of what we're doing today.
It is just one piece of the company's new 5-point strategy. The plan also calls for reducing water use, creating local jobs, paying full property taxes, and investing in AI education. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Cummings.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Our Revive I-5 backup through Seattle this afternoon isn't affecting southbound traffic at all. In fact, you're slow from 520 to I-90, less than 20 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. North 5, however, is packed at the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. And then from there, we're starting to see building volumes scattered between Northgate and Linwood. Nothing heavy, though. Seattle to Linwood is a 40-minute trip. Now, Bellevue to Linwood is just 25 minutes. It is starting to get crowded, though, between I-90 and 527 in Canyon Park, but you're at freeway speeds here. Seattle to Federal Way, we're at 40 minutes. Pretty heavy between Interurban and 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 40-minute trip. Extra thick south of Highway 18 into Sumner. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And now to your forecast. We are staying dry tonight. Morning fog tomorrow. Mainly cloudy, but not as warm as this afternoon. Right now, showing up at 60 degrees down in the South Sound, 55 degrees in Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I didn't hear it.
Trying to get my thing past my staples in my head.
I thought those got out today.
Tomorrow, Joe. Don't rush progress. Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs. HomeComfortAlliance.com. Again, note, I got Joe, get off the air. I got to call them. I got to get a generator. I'm pouring so much money into this barn. A big fence out front there. Got a generator, everything. Oh, Nick's just spending money left and right.
Good. Makes for a fun playground.
Putting lights in the water in the pond. in the big pond.
Yeah.
So at night it lights up.
What about the otters? Are they going to like that?
The little river otter that's out there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. This day in history. This day in history, I blew 2 minutes in order to stall in order to be able to get to the day in history music. It was 1129. Everybody remembers this one. The Pope recognizes Knights Templar. Oh, my God. Feels like just yesterday.
Historic.
1920, the first live public radio broadcast. I'm sure that went well.
Mm-hmm.
James Joyce finally dies in 1941.
I thought he was older.
You ready, James Joyce?
No.
You think it's like just something you should read, and then you get into one of his stories, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. You're like, wow, is this a poem? What is this thing? But you think you should read it because he's Irish and he's James Joyce, and you're like, come on. 1986 NCAA adopts the controversial Proposition 48. You remember that one?
I do.
What was it?
That students had to have a certain academic threshold in order to play sports their freshman year in college.
Okay. I remember when my godfather was the assistant or was the head coach for Penn State, and I wanted to get onto Penn State main campus because my grades were so bad, so they accepted me onto Westchester. And I want to go to Westchester, I'm going to go to Penn State, Nine, Happy Town, whatever it's called, Happy Valley. And the guy said to me, my godfather said, well, you could talk to Papa Joe and maybe see, or to the assistant coach, and you could get on. They make you show up for 3 practices, and then they could cut you. That might be a way to get on. And I remember talking to the assistant coach, and he says, did you play football in high school? I said, yeah. He goes, well, you don't look very big. I said, well, I lost a lot of weight in order to run track. Yeah, well, you got to show up for 3 practices. And I said, are they half pads, full pads? Oh, no. In order for us to cut you, you have to show up for 3 full pad practices. I was like, will people know that I'm just sort of there as a guy whose godfather is the coach of the basketball team? Oh, yeah, word will get out pretty fast. So you got to make a decision. Do you want to spend the first 2 years of your Penn State main campus in a body cast? I was like, I really won't know. No. Nope, not for that. But I remember being outside the office, and I think it was an English teacher or something went in there to complain to Papa Joe about these kids' grades. And I remember him yelling through the thing, get with the program or you're out of the program. I asked later on, get with the program meant take these morons that are playing football and just pass them through. Get with the program. Just everybody gets to see. Move them on. 1987, Connecticut man arrested for wood chipper murder. There's his wife he put in the wood chipper.
That's right.
1999, Michael Jordan retires for the second time. And then 2006, this happened, or 2026, this happened actually today. Scott Adams dies at the age of 68, the Dilbert creator who fell from grace after what people said was racist. And then he began to document his career. And I remember I watched his podcast and I would watch his live things. And I think it was about a week ago. He said, it's probably the end of my life. I probably have about a week left. And he's still, I think his last one was a couple days ago as he battled cancer. Interesting guy he was. All right, let's do this one. Let's do the first piece. We're doing radio. 1920, the first live radio broadcast. Do we have sound of it?
We do.
Okay, so it was the symphony, I believe. I forget, was it Brahms? Do we know who they're playing?
I don't.
Beethoven? It might have been for Beethoven. So here we go. This is the New York City Opera. This is the first public radio broadcast in the history. This is January 13th, 1910. So everyone's getting ready for if you had a radio, you'd be there. It's coming to you live from New York City. Hey, was Vern involved in this? Turn on the radio. I think I hear Beethoven.
Nope.
Oh. Anyway, That was about everybody I've heard there. And they're like, man, I think that's the beginning of great radio, January 13th, 1910. Nobody heard it. Apparently, something went wrong, and it just wasn't being broadcast correctly.
The microphones,
microphones weren't able to pick up the sound. We've had situations like that. Do you remember that, Andrew? We decided we were going to do a live broadcast during the elections, and it was also going to be on video as well. So Tom and I were in the studio back there, right? And none of it went up. No picture went up. No sound went up. The only thing anyone heard was Vern saying, what did Vern say?
Oh, this is before me. This must have been with Sean or...
Yeah, Vern said, so you don't hear anything. Tom and I are trying to talk. There's no, and people are writing in, texting in, oh, this is horrible. And then all of a sudden the microphone opens up and you hear Vern go, I hate my life. That was the only thing that went over the air. And then we're like, screw it. We just ended up not have it, but we promoted it all day long. Well, live radio broadcast, including video, as we react to election, whatever it was, 2014. I hate my life. Yep.
Vern.
Yeah, Vern. Good. Okay. That's it for that one, right?
This is a little. You told me to find some radio blunders.
Yeah.
So this is BBC One news broadcast. This reminded me of Vern.
But it was the lenders paying them this commission. You were paying the commission.
Well, there's nothing wrong with commission.
Testing.
The dealer does a lot of work in order to sell a car and to sell finance.
Jesus.
Income for cold. The question is whether it's fair.
In here.
And that's what the FCA is talking about here.
I'm told that there was some cross lines at the start of the programme today and that you could hear someone swearing. I'm really, really sorry about that.
That was Vern.
Oh, yes. That kind of moment. People don't realize it's on. Yeah, good stuff. That radio continues to go. Listen, it's going to be around for at least another... Here's Nate checking traffic. Nate,
Yes, sir. That drive through Everett this afternoon looking great. Just minor slowing between Lowell Road and 41st. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. South 5 heading into Seattle now slows from the U District to I-90. For this time of day, that is still an easy-peasy drive. It's just 15 minutes between Linwood to Seattle. North 5 is solid from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. And then this backup has westbound 520 jammed up in Montlake. This is our new norm with Revive I-5 underway. Bellevue to Renton, just 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 35-minute drive. And Tacoma to Olympia, 40 minutes. And that kind of spells the whole map this afternoon at the moment. Relatively light volumes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, let's get organized, right? So now the holidays are over. You stuff the tree back in the closet. A bunch of stuff falls out, and there's just things everywhere. Maybe you're trying to reach for that big, cozy sweater you've got. You can't find it because there's a whole bunch of other stuff in the closet. I can tell you from personal experience, Nick is extremely organized. I am the opposite of that. So we finally came to sort of a boiling point where she said, we've got to get some closets that we can function with. We can put the stuff in and we can have it all stored. I said, okay, go ahead. Find a closet company. Come on in. We'll redo the master bedroom and the other closet in the other room and take care of the garage. But find a company that's local. See if they've been around for a while. And let's make sure they're really customized. So she does some work on the old internet and comes back with Closets by Design. She said they've been around for 22 years. They're family run and they source all of the materials right here in the Pacific Northwest. I said, get them in here. So the folks came in and the nice lady sat with us from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock and completely designed exactly what we needed. Came up with ideas we hadn't even thought of. This is Closets by Design. I thought the prices would be crazy, but they're going to give you 40% off plus 15% off and 18 months financing. It's Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
This is what the NFL playoffs are all about.
The Seahawks win the game!
A dominant Seahawks team, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
This is the vision that we had for our team.
Hosting a bitter rival.
Richard Sherman tips it!
In front of the best, loudest fans in the game.
Listen to the 12th man!
Let's go. Seahawks 49ers, Saturday night. Kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain and and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt, water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Experience the iconic Mexican music group Bronco at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, February 28th at 8 p.m. They've sold more than 20 million albums and performed for audiences all over the world. Now Bronco is bringing their modern take on regional Mexican sound live to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Tickets are on sale now at muckleshootcasino.com.
All right, what are you doing on the 20th of July? That is what is that? Is that a Wednesday? January, yeah. What day is that?
I think it's next Tuesday.
Are we ready to do the big walkout? Does everybody know about this? That we're supposed to walk out. Evidently, it's going to be happening. So, here's this guy setting up for you.
January 20th, 2026.
Okay.
Mark the date.
All right.
Every part of that date is intentional. It's the 1-year anniversary of Donald Trump's inauguration.
Is that where he won a majority? Majority of people that voted for him? Is that where he swept even he flipped a bunch of states? Is where he got elected? Okay.
And it's the day people across the country
that didn't vote for him. Okay.
Are organizing a coordinated response. At 2 p.m. local time, your time, wherever you live, you walk out. Work.
Whoa. Okay, Andrew, so 2 o'clock, I know where you're going to be.
Right here.
You just walk out.
I don't think
Jack, no.
What about the people who are operating on people or something?
Hang on.
School, home, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are when the clock hits.
Wait, did he mention work or just
work, school, home, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Just walk out of your house.
Where do you go?
I don't know. Hold on.
This isn't about where you are.
No.
It's about showing up together. Not chaos, visibility.
Okay.
Then from 3 to 5 p.m. Local time, people walk into their local congressional offices. Calm, peaceful, on the record, demanding impeachment and removal. And here's how this reaches everyone.
Okay.
Film it. Post it on your social media.
Yes.
January 20th is the message.
Yes.
Walk out, walk in, film it, repost it, and make it impossible to ignore.
Oh, that is brilliant. Okay, so again, the 20th of January at 2 o'clock, wherever you are, walk out. Walk out of your house. You're in the middle of feeding your baby or changing a diaper or something, just walk out.
Film yourself.
And then film yourself. And then walk to your congressional office.
So you're not going nowhere. You are going somewhere.
Between 3 and 5.
You get an hour to walk there.
You walk and film yourself. And do that. Because if we don't, apparently it's going to be bad. I mean, it was bad enough the first time, but now look out. If you want to stop misogyny and racism and xenophobia and violence, this is what you have to do. So it's the Free American Walkout coming up on the 20th.
Boom.
There we go.
I know where I'll be.
Walking out. Right. Did you do Hands Across America? My brother and sister and I tried to do that when that was popular. You weren't even born.
I did it.
Did you do it, Nate?
Oh, yeah.
Where were you?
Little town called Skagway, Alaska.
Oh. The reason it failed is because nobody took into consideration large bodies of water.
I know. I know. All us kids, it's kind of like we're inland, almost like an island out there. We're like, so this just goes to the end of town, and what's the point?
I know. I remember standing there, and I was like, I don't want to hold this girl's hand. Because they're like all ooky and going to, cooties and stuff. And she didn't want to hold my hand. It's like, I don't know how many of us standing there. And they'd be like, when do you hold hands? Nobody you couldn't contact anybody. Yeah. So you just like holding hands, and then her hand was all weird and wet, and mine was all weird and wet. And they just kept dropping it. And they're like, come on, people, it's important. We got your hands together here.
When was that?
Hands Across America.
What was the...
It was January 20th at 2 o'clock. I'll never forget it.
May 25th, 1986.
Yes.
What was the reason?
I don't know. What was the reason for that thing?
Wasn't it something about hunger?
Yes, it was a public fundraising
Yes,
event.
for Hands Across America. We were all supposed to hold hands.
5 million people participated.
Yeah. And Nate and I were in it.
The chain was broken in many places, particularly in the southwestern United States desert.
Just couldn't get anybody to do the Hands Across America. People are eating better now because we were out there. I think these things. Look how fat all the Americans are. We did it.
For you guys.
All right, nicely done. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate.
All right, Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. South 5 slows from the U District to I-90. 15 minutes. That's it between Linwood and Seattle. North 5 is another story. It's bumper to bumper approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge because of Revive I-5. This now has westbound 520 jammed up at the Arboretum over to I-5. Otherwise, our lake bridges are doing good. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 25 minutes. You're slow from 520 all the way to the Renton Landing. Seattle to Federal Way is at 40 minutes. Pretty thick at Interurban Avenue down to 516. Renton to Puyallup, southbound to 167. Plan on 50 minutes now. Gets real thick at Highway 18 into Puyallup. Looking at our passes, Stevens, Snoqualmie, White, and Blewett all look great with no restrictions. In fact, temps right now are in the mid-40s at Stevens and Snoqualmie. Save $600 off windows and $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing. Don't wait. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I should preface the fact that if you're watching, the reason I'm wearing these is trying to cover up the... I have to take the glasses off for this spot because I don't wear glasses anymore.
Fair.
If you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear glasses anymore, no contacts, and you're concerned about cataracts, you got to check out K2VisionRLE.com. Let me tell you why. Dr. Kopstein, I met him about 4 years ago. I went in there because I really didn't want to wear glasses. I had a pair of glasses to see at night, and then they were up close and a little further away. My eyes were a mess. And Kopstein says to me, don't get too excited. I'm going to make, see what your eyes look like. He puts this machine in front of me. He goes, man, Aaron, you got some problems. Even a little cataract in your right eye. You'd be a great candidate for this. I said, let's sign up and do it. How long is it going to take? He said, about 2 Beatles songs. About 5 minutes in one eye, 5 on the other. So I do it. I go back in. I think it was the next day. I got 20/20 vision. This is like 4 years ago. I've never looked back. I got perfect vision. So over the age of 50, no readers, no glasses, no contacts. You don't want to deal with any of that sort of stuff. You've got to make an appointment at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
This is what the NFL playoffs are all about.
The Seahawks win the game.
A dominant Seahawks team, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
This is the vision that we had for our team.
Hosting a bitter rival.
Richard Sherman tips it.
In front of the best, loudest fans in the game.
Listen to the 12th man.
Let's go. Seahawks 49ers, Saturday night. Kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in 1 day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
G and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Last year, the big news, obviously, was the accomplishment of the big, beautiful bill, but that also comes with some big, beautiful changes to the IRS.
There are some big, beautiful changes going on, and so many of those changes in the big, beautiful bill impact 2025. There's definitely some big spiffs in there for the ordinary working person. One thing that I'm really disappointed in is the way that things have been communicated in regards to the Social Security. It is still going to be taxed. It's not like it's not going to be taxed, but it will be, for most people, a reduction in the amount of tax.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Investigation into Fed Chair Jerome Powell, what it means for the Fed's independence and the nation's economy.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna weighs in.
Love that touchscreen in your car? According to new research from UW, you might be part of the problem on the roads.
Speaking of the roads, Revive I-5. Sully has his eyes on the roads and traffic every 10 minutes.
Hope you can join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump vows to take strong action against Iran as the regime has killed hundreds or perhaps thousands of anti-government protesters. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
In an exclusive interview with CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel at a Ford assembly plant in Detroit, the president responded to reports Iran's government plans to start hanging protesters.
We will take very strong action if they do such a thing.
What exactly would that mean?
When they start killing thousands of people and now you're telling me about hanging, we'll see how that works out for them.
Trump has imposed tariffs on any country doing business with Iran, and he has canceled all meetings with Iranian officials. Previously, the president said he did not rule out military action, although the details are unclear. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Former President Bill Clinton and First Lady Hillary refused to testify before the House Oversight Committee in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Republican Committee Chairman James Comer says his panel will seek to hold them in contempt next week. There are new resignations at the Justice Department over the investigation into the fatal shooting of Renee Good. It comes as the surge of ICE agents is growing in Minnesota. CBS's Lana Zach.
The Trump administration has called Good's actions domestic terrorism. President Trump said ICE agents are in Minneapolis to fight crime.
Killers, rapists.
He posted on social media, "Fear not, great people of Minnesota. The day of reckoning and retribution is coming."
Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will sit down tomorrow with officials from Denmark and Greenland. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The meeting comes as President Trump steps up his threats to take over Greenland. In Greenland, they'll be following the talks closely. Juno Berthelsen is a member of Parliament.
Having a meeting, being able to sit down and seek diplomatic solutions is what we've been seeking from the whole beginning. So we're happy that those diplomatic solutions are being sought out.
Danish officials have said repeatedly they're open to expanding cooperation with the U.S. military in Greenland, but the territory is not for sale.
The Supreme Court appears likely to uphold state laws that ban transgender athletes from participating in girls' and women's sports. Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
Given that half the states are allowing transgender girls and women to participate, about half are not, why would we, at this point, just the role of this court, jump in and try to constitutionalize a rule for the whole country while there's still, as you say, uncertainty and debate?
Director and Emmy Award-winning actor Timothy Busfield has turned himself into authorities in New Mexico to face child sex abuse charges that allegedly occurred on the set of the TV series The Cleaning Lady. Busfield has denied the allegations. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, Governor Ferguson lays out his priorities for this legislative session. That's after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Tell you what, Aaron, we're looking pretty good out there. South 5, we're looking at scattered backups from Northgate to I-90, but nothing heavy. It's only a 15-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle. North 5 is solid, approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, where Revive I-5 takes up your two left lanes. This has westbound 520 now jammed up at the, we'll call it the west end of the lake now. Bellevue to Seattle on 520 is going to take you 20 minutes. It's only 15 minutes on a pretty much wide open I-90. Seattle to Everett just hit 1 hour. Scattered backups between Northgate and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett to 50 minutes. It is solid from I-90 up to 527 in Canyon Park. Seattle to Federal Way, give yourself 40 minutes. It's pretty thick at Interurban Avenue down to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is at 50 minutes. The north end looks good. Once you get to Highway 18, it jams up all the way into Puyallup, and then that carries on to westbound 512. You're slow from the Valley Freeway over to Canyon Road. Just volume here. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson delivers his second State of the State address this afternoon. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is following.
A key part of the governor's address involved affordable housing. Ferguson proposes spending $244 million on housing and historic investments.
We will build and protect thousands of affordable housing units, make it easier for first-time home buyers to enter the market, and accelerate the process to build housing.
Senate Republican leader John Braun says Ferguson fails to understand the nature of the problem.
This isn't something we're going to fix with more government involvement, more taxes, and more regulation. We need less taxes, less regulation, and less government involvement.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Storm damage from last month's floods could hit $50 million just to repair the roads. That's the word from the state transportation officials. WashDOT Steve Rourke told the House Transportation Committee it's just an estimate for now.
And I would say that it's too soon to know what the federal funding is going to look like, how much of our federal appropriation will be eligible to be spent.
He says in previous disasters, the feds covered up to 90% of the costs. The state is still preparing to ask FEMA for a disaster declaration. A Seattle law firm is taking Starbucks to court.
Higgins Berman has filed a class action suit which alleges Starbucks ignored systemic human rights and labor violations at certified farms, including unsafe housing and contaminated water. It also accuses the company of using harmful chemicals in its decaf coffee. The suit claims Starbucks misled customers with promises of 100% ethical coffee sourcing. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And we have reached out to Starbucks for comments. CEO of Seattle-based Redfin is stepping down after 20 years leading the company. Glenn Kelman says he is leaving the real estate firm, and it was his decision. His announcement comes nearly 7 months after Rocket Companies bought Redfin. Seattle Times reports the head of Rocket will serve as interim CEO. Now to your weather updates. We are looking at mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, some patchy morning fog tomorrow, and mainly cloudy for Wednesday, and then sunshine Thursday and Friday. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Why?
Thank you.
Why?
What would you say you do here?
Yeah, what is that? What is the radio? Remember I got this job, I told my dad, they're paying me for my opinion. He goes, they are? Diving in the report. So much news going on around the world. Let's get him in here. Hey, Don, here he comes. Watch the volume. All right, hey. I thought...
Shalom from Tehran.
Where are you
New
now?
York Times is doing a special from Tehran. How's it going?
Well, you were in Tel Aviv for a while. Now, normally we try to get our news about what all the Jews are up to from Candace Owens or Nick Fuentes, but apparently we have to check in with you.
Yes.
It's interesting because, you know, the serious nature, the number of Iranians that have been killed. I think this is one of the biggest protests, more than 1 million all over the country now are out in the streets. The primary reason is for economics because the inflation is really just devastated. It's up to 50%. And they think this might be the chance for the Ayatollah to go bye-bye. And I assume the Jews would be the ones who would fly him out of there, just like Maduro, and they would.
Well, you know what I will say is
Yes.
that the last time I was in Tel Aviv, it was the week that the IDF killed Charlie Kirk. And then last week, I was in, bear with me, last week I was there when the IDF took Maduro.
Yes,
now,
exactly.
Here's the problem, is that I am scheduled to go back to Israel the last week of February.
Oh, boy.
So if I'm the Ayatollah, I'm freaking out right
this
now
is
because
it.
every time I show up, Netanyahu decides to take out another government. which is pretty funny. It is crazy what is happening in Iran. This is something that I would like to talk about here.
Yes, it's important. Yes.
I am seeing, so there's Israeli flags, and then a lot of the discourse online is people not trusting these protests because the Jews and the Israelis want it to happen.
Yeah.
And let me just say out there, don't let your weird obsessive hatred with Jews or Israelis take away from this moment.
Okay.
People are acting like it's some sort of Mossad mission, that we're doing this deviously, or that like we're secretly supporting it. No, we are openly supporting it. We hate the Ayatollah. If Ayatollah you once, Ayatollah you 1,000 times. You anti-Semitic piece of crap. He hates Iranians. He hates the Jews.
Right.
He hates me personally. There were 3 times I was supposed to go to Israel last year. Every single time, this freaking guy decided to bomb Israel.
Right.
Canceled my tickets every time.
But
it's about time.
But the Jews and the Iranians have anything in common?
Yes, of course we do. We
Okay.
love rice. And our moms have a general distrust of blonde Christians showing up to our house and stealing their baby boys.
Okay.
The Iranians and the Jews, here's what everyone forgets, is that the Jews were in Iran for years and years and years. When the Ayatollah took over and when the Islamic regime took over, that was when things got dicey for the Jews. But the Jews and the Iranians and the Muslims out there and the Persians and every other group and category out there, they were friends. And then all of a sudden, the Ayatollah comes in, the Shah gets pushed out, and what ended up creating was this power vacuum where they have so much money, they were able to fund Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis, every single group in that region that is causing chaos, that is keeping the region from solidifying, is funded by the Ayatollah and the IRGC.
Right.
So the Jews are excited for this. Every country is rooting for this. The Ayatollah is finding out how little people like him. And that's got to really be, a damage to him. But it's crazy. I'm seeing everywhere between 12,000 to 20,000. Like, it's the numbers that are coming out of protesters that have been killed is shocking. And I really do hope that this is the thing that leads to the end here. And another thing I will say is that, October 7th happened. And since then, the amount of regimes that have fallen in that region is crazy. Assad is done.
Right.
This weekend, Putin. The IRGC is done. Nasrallah, Lebanon. Like every one of these regimes that their whole thing was just hating Israel and killing the Jews, they've all fallen one by one since October 7th. And it makes complete sense that the Iranian regime is next, and I hope to God it happens.
And also part of the story is that for the longest time, the Ayatollah was saying, listen, we need to have all this money because we need to build up our military because at any minute we could be attacked. So we're going to be able to have this really strong military. And then the Israelis and Trump fly in there and blow up their nuclear power stuff. And people are like, wait a minute, I thought we had all this money. We're supposed to be able to defend ourselves. They came right on in there and did that. So you would be supporting Donald Trump after they defeat Greenland. You would be supporting of him flying into Iran and finishing them off.
Yeah, you know what? I think that the Ayatollah should actually have Greenland. That's my big plan here. Okay, move the Ayatollah closer to America. No. I will say that with all this, I think there needs to be a lot of caution here because this should not become a world war. The last thing that we need is boots on the ground, proxy battles happening that end up dragging Russia and America into something that they don't want to happen. I don't think that Russia and America want to get into the war that Iran is trying to trick people into getting into. But we are very, very close to it. We should not boots on the ground. I think just keep on air superiority. I say this as not anyone with any military background at all. But if I was in charge of it, here's what I would do. But, take out Bordeaux. Screw that place. I hate it.
Let me ask you.
I hate them. The Bordeaux Yankees suck.
You actually attended a basketball game in Tel Aviv, and the video up at your Instagram, but people need to follow you. I got to tell you something. The video was nuts. There was a guy without a shirt on who I think you identified as the mayor of Tel Aviv. I don't know if that was true, But there was.
I actually got that wrong. He is not the mayor of Tel Aviv. He's the comptroller. Anyways, continue.
Okay. And the screaming and yelling, and I think the coach for one of the teams had to be restrained, but apparently that happens all the time. And there's this like big like float that goes around and drops pamphlets on people or something.
I was joking because Israel likes to talk about how they always drop pamphlets on the buildings before they blow them up. I'm pretty sure that was kind of there was this giant float that was floating around the stadium and it kept on going over the other team. And I'm like, are they letting them know that their houses are about to get demolished in this game? I went to Hapoel Tel Aviv. Shout out Hapoel Tel Aviv HTA. It is better than any NBA game I have ever gone to. I've gone to playoff games in the Garden.
Yeah.
This was louder and more intense than that. It was like if you take European soccer and just put it into a dome, the entire time there's drums and they're singing. And the songs that they sing, it's not like, let's go Mets, let's go Mets.
Yeah.
The lyrics were just like, because I was with a girl and I was like, can you translate like what is happening? She's like, oh, yes. In this song, they're saying that their mothers called them and told them to go kill themselves. And I'm like, wow, very, very, that's crazy. And then like, yeah. And then another one was like, okay. In this one, they're saying that while they were at the game, the army came and burned down their village and took their daughters. And I was like, what is the specificity of this? Another one, they're just like, this one is just, they're calling the mothers whores. Like, like the game was happening, but the energy, I've been to a game like that. Absolutely insane. I want to go back when I'm going back. It should be, whenever you see those videos of like Serbian basketball leagues or anything with the flares and the fire happening in it, that's what this was like. It was awesome. But Israel's got to focus on that. They got to stop talking about the war and everything. They're obsessed with talking about the war and victimizing ourselves. That should not be the case. Everyone should they should just show these games and show how hot everyone is on the boardwalk.
Let's go closer to home. How's Mondani the commie doing for you?
Oh my God. Man, I will say, what an up and down few weeks for this guy.
Yeah.
He just got in there. I will say that here's the good and here's the bad.
Okay.
I think he responded to some of the anti-Semitic stuff that had happened very well. I thought that his responses, online had been pretty good. There was that protest that was happening outside of the synagogue where they were saying like, we want Hamas here, we want Hamas here.
Right in front of the synagogue there, right?
Yeah. But so today, the big thing that happened is that Kathy Hochul came out with one of the bills that she's trying to push to keep people from protesting within 25 feet of synagogues and I guess like other religious places. I'm for this. I think that, I was talking with someone about like how is this like an encroachment on civil rights? Is this making it so that you're not able to properly protest where you want to protest? And the answer is yes. ... because all they've done is made this a violent, dangerous thing. If they didn't want to be pushed 25 feet down the block, then they shouldn't have shown up to a synagogue chanting, death to everyone inside. Even if you think that it is wrong that they're having real estate deals in there, which I'm not saying is right or wrong. I have moral issues when they have West Bank, settlement deals inside of synagogues. But the answer to that isn't to go, we're going to murder you. We're going to murder you. That's just not the equivalent. They make the synagogues unsafe. On top of that, we are dealing with Bondi shooting. That synagogue in Alabama got burnt down. Right. There is a very real threat here, and the people watch who is against it. Watch who is against this bill, because the only people I've seen that are against this bill thus far are people like JVP, who is a fake Jewish group whose entire thing is just hating Israelis and Jews. You're going to see SJP. You're going to see a ton of other groups that have a history with bigotry and a history with anti-Semitic hate speech and violence. They're the ones that are going to be protesting against this.
But as a Jew, as a Jew, Eitan, don't you have enough self-hate? You don't need other people to hate you, right?
The most anti-Semitic stuff I've ever heard has literally been during synagogue board meetings in Springfield, New Jersey. Okay, I literally cannot even say it on air. But I remembered that there was a time, and I'm not saying who did this, but someone said literally, if you think that is the case, then go back to the camps. That was an actual thing that someone said during a synagogue. There's another thing. Actually, I wasn't there for this, but there was a very funny story where in the synagogue at home, there was a lot of, very like the upper hierarchy of the town of Springfield was like, they're on the board, like the chief, surgeon and the guy who owns the big business, whatever. They're all on the board.
Yeah.
And they're having a debate about what tuna to get for Kiddush, for the meal happening. And they're debating for 10 minutes about whether to get the tuna or the deluxe tuna. These are billionaires that are just yelling at each other. And apparently someone stood up halfway through, slapped a 20 down and said, "You're adults. Get the deluxe tuna." And that was how the meeting ended. But I will say this on the Mamdani front, because that was how this originally started.
Yes.
I think he's done a good job with his responses. I think that he is going to start to run into an actual problem here where he's starting to realize all of the people in charge of like real estate and business and Broadway and nightlife. They're all people that have a connection to Israel because I don't know if you know, there's a lot of Jews in New York.
Yes.
Hot take. So because of that, he started running into people where he has to have an actual conversation that he hadn't had to have in the DSA halls. When he's having, a DSA, Democratic Socialist, meetings, he doesn't have to deal with these people that he's now starting to deal with. And that is making him take a more moderate stance in a lot of ways. What I am very worried about and will continue to be worried about is the level of rhetoric that comes out when stuff happens against the Jewish community. Yeah. He can hate Israel all he wants, but he still has to stand by us and he still has to make it a safe community. And that involves his tone and his rhetoric. And I think thus far on that metric alone, B to B plus. There's stuff that I still want him to do. I still think he needs to come out stronger against the Intifada language. I still think that he needs to openly meet with Zionist organizations like Hillel, which is the Jewish college, groups. I think all that stuff still has to happen, but he's moving in the right way. There also hasn't been a big event that has tested him. And that is what I'm still waiting for. I'm curious what happens when something big happens.
Do you think some of the protests that happened, to stand in front of a synagogue and call for the killing of Jews, do you think that group was emboldened by Mamdani? They felt like, we kind of got a green light from this guy, so it's okay for us to scream, kill the people that are in this synagogue?
No, because they've been doing that already.
Okay.
And I want to say also is that if that protest, the night before there was supposed to be another protest at another event by that same group, and not that many people showed up. Like very few people showed up. Next night they had that protest where they were screaming the Hamas stuff. Terrifying they were doing that, but there wasn't that many people there. And I just came back from Israel, and I was on a fellowship at Reichman University, and one of the classes or one of the sessions that I had was with someone who's in charge of focus group testing and like figuring out like how to talk about Israel and stuff like that, and like how American polling about Americans. She made a very, very clear thing. As much as American support of Israel has dropped over the past couple of months, you know what else has dropped? Support of Palestinians, because everyone is tired and bored and they just want to go back to work and they want to go to sporting events where they're not being protested, and they want to go to colleges where they're not getting protested, and they don't want to feel guilty for not taking a strong stance here or there. Everyone is tired of this effing war. And I think that is the ultimate thing that is going to hurt this cause the most, is that they're only going to have the extremists that go out there and think it's okay to chant against Hamas. AOC came out against them. Bernie Sanders came out against them. They have no friends anymore. They're losing friends.
Yes. Well,
and they're completely uneffable. What a rizless, ugly group of people. Not a hottie in the bunch. It's a bunch of sixes that got together to the Bukharian neighborhood in Queens and started chanting. The only one hot that's talking to them is AOC, and she called them out.
I got to get your prediction. You ready? Here we go. Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Seahawks win?
Yeah, baby. I'm all for it. Sam Darnold, former New York Jet. Let's take it all the way. Like, he's the quarterback, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam Darnold, you know how I know he's good? Because he left the Jets, and that takes guts.
Okay, and then Seahawks take on the Rams.
Sam Darnold is getting me that ship, baby, okay? They're getting me the ship. I'm taking it. Sam Darnold, as a Jet fan, is the only thing I have left. The only two things I have left as a Jet fan is Bill Belichick's fakakta dating history and Sam Darnold having some luck whenever he leaves the Jets. You guys are going to get Zach Wilson in 2 years,
Oh, my God. Eitan Levine. There he goes. put you in the chair. Thank you, Tom. Bye-bye. There he goes out the door, checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Home Comfort Alliance has the update. Heading through Seattle South 5, just minimal backups. You'll eventually get thick there at Merced. After I-90, you're in the clear. Linwood to Seattle, 20-minute trip max. North 5 is a different story. It's solid at the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge because of Revive I-5. It's going to take you a half hour to make it through this backup. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. Scattered backups from Northgate to Linwood. Bellevue to Everett's at 50 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, 25-minute drive. It's heavy from Southeast 8th to Northeast 44th. Federal Way to Tacoma, 20 minutes, but you're slow from South 320th all the way to the Puyallup River Bridge. And Renton to Puyallup is a 40-minute commute right now down the Valley Freeway. Power outages can happen without warning. Get a backup generator for the next storm and save $1,000 now at homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, close your eyes, except if you're driving, don't. And think for a moment, where are the disorganized parts of the house? You know, the closet downstairs, maybe the garage looks like a total mess. And every time you look at those things, you try to look away because it just causes stress because you just want to get everything organized. Everything has a place for everything. And you want to make sure that you don't pay a whole lot of money. And you want to make sure who's ever coming in to put these new closets in for you are going to really totally customize it. You don't want somebody coming in with a box of parts and jerry-rigging it in there. So I can tell you right now from my personal experience, when Closets by Design came to the barn in Cle Elum, the work that they did was amazing. I mean, it was better than we could have possibly planned, totally customized. And Closets by Design is a local company, family-run, 22 years. They know exactly what they're doing. You're going to get a customized closet. We got the garage done. It is absolutely breathtaking, beautiful, all the work that they did. It's Closets by Design. It's highly designed, but it doesn't have the high price, 40% off plus additional 15% off. And how about this? 18 months financing and free installation. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
More like Choke Point. The new year brings a big new headache for the thousands of you commuting south on I-5 into Seattle. The latest phase of Revive I-5 is underway, and it won't be finished anytime soon. I've got you covered with traffic on the 3s every morning from 6 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News. Nate Connors has you covered every afternoon. We're always hunting for alternate routes, and we'll help you get where you need to be a little faster. On KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So there are some folks who probably think that they are in the clear because they haven't been hounded by IRS agents for the last few weeks. But That is a false sense of comfort.
It's a false sense of comfort, and I understand why people feel that way, Jason, because with the IRS shut down, all the revenue agents, the auditors, the revenue officers, the tax collectors, they weren't in their office. And the IRS stopped sending out notices because they knew that, people just couldn't respond to them because there weren't a lot of IRS personnel around. And so you get comfortable, you get complacent. But I tell you, folks, really, if you got an IRS issue, it's better to take care of it now than later. It really is.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Did you know that 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, the hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. If this sounds like your house, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or a new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service, even in winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which my wife and kids are extremely grateful for. I trust them to help you too. To lock in your winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands. 206 Roofing.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. For the first time, we are getting a look at body camera video of a Christmas Day carjacking of a state patrol trooper. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch reports.
Video shows troopers approaching a man walking on Interstate 5, trying to coax him away from the dangerous freeway, even offering to buy him a train ticket.
You guys are being very nice.
He walks away but comes back, this time troopers pleading.
Get off the road, please, please.
The man opens one trooper's car door and slams her to the ground.
No!
The suspect drives off, but another trooper bumps his cruiser into that stolen patrol car, stopping it. No one was seriously injured. The suspect was arrested on felony charges.
State lawmakers are advancing a bill that would limit when officers can cover their faces. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains.
The bill is designed to prohibit ICE and border agents from wearing masks during immigration raids. Anyone detained by an officer who violates that rule could then file a civil lawsuit. Bill sponsor, Senator Javier Valdez.
We're all aware of incidents that started occurring last year where we started seeing law enforcement officers throughout the country bringing intimidation tactics and causing fear.
The Department of Justice says many agents wear masks to protect their identity after death threats rose 8,000%. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Similar law that passed in California is now being challenged in federal court. Inflation is climbing nationwide. It is even higher, however, in Seattle. Prices rose 2.7% across the country, but 3.1% in the greater Seattle area over the past year. Energy costs here soared more than 7%. Medical care is up over 5%. Microsoft says it'll pay its own way as the AI boom drives massive energy demands nationwide. Company announced a 5-point strategy saying it'll absorb higher utility rates so residents do not see their bills rise. Microsoft President Brad Smith tells CNBC.
I think it's really incumbent on us as a company and probably for the entire tech sector to raise the bar, lean in, show people what we're going to do, and ensure that our deeds match our words.
Company's plan also includes cutting water use, creating local jobs, and paying full property taxes. Going now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:33, we go to Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, let's start you here in Seattle where we have Revive I-5 underway. South 5 isn't affected that much right now anyway. We've got light volume to the U District. It eventually gets thick there in Mercer down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is a 20-minute trip. Now, North 5, you're solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 minutes just to make it through this backup. Northbound 99, a good option for you. It is heavy through the tunnel. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes with scattered backups from Northgate into Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. It's solid from I-90 there in Bellevue all the way into Canyon Park. Our lake bridges are filling in heading into Seattle. Westbound 90 is slow across the lake into the Mount Baker Tunnel. Westbound 520 jams up mid-span over to I-5. Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on 520, 20 minutes on I-90. And at Puyallup, we've got a new crash. It's westbound 512 just past Meridian, blocking your left lane. That's got traffic stacked up onto the Valley Freeway, and that backup stretches way back to Highway 18. Renton to Puyallup is a 45-minute drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
We reached 57 degrees at SeaTac Airport today, 1 degree shy of an all-time high for this date. Right now, though, we are looking at cloudy skies tomorrow, some patchy morning fog, sunshine for Thursday and Friday. Right now, it is 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 TV's Pinpoint Alert Days. It's your advance notice to stay safe. When weather threatens to damage and disrupt your daily life, KIRO 7 sounds the alarm, preparing you days in advance. Stay informed, stay prepared with KIRO 7 Pinpoint Alert Days, only on KIRO 7 News.
Well said, well read, Joe. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. We got to find out when their birthday. I'm pretty sure it's March. We still have them at 50 years. 16 locations. Take the car to Bucky's Auto Service Centers. They'll fix it right for you. Bucky's. Nate can tell you that they got his old, what are you driving again?
The Ford, what they call it, the Exploder. It's an Explorer, but they call it the Exploder.
Who does? Who calls it that?
I've learned everybody. Bucky's told me that story.
Okay, thank you, Nate, for
because
that.
the transmissions are known to explode. So I guess I'll be going back to Bucky's soon.
Okay. It's a great car if you just want to be able to drive it around and have it explode.
Yes.
All right, good.
I'm having a blast.
All right, thank you, Bucky's. Let's see. A story came out yesterday. This guy gets a wheelchair for his wife. It's in Spain. He gets a wheelchair for his wife, and he's wheeling her in there. And then apparently somebody that was involved that for the airlines went to take the woman's hand and then noticed it was, I guess, cold. And she seemed to be unresponsive. And then when the husband was asked, your wife's dead, he said, oh, yeah, she died here at the airport. I just got to get her on the plane. And they're like, yeah, it looks like she's been gone for a while now. He's 80 years old. I sort of feel sorry for him.
Yeah, me too.
How is he gonna get the guy home? That doesn't seem fair. You should have airlines that should be encouraging that sort of activity. And then we talked about this just briefly yesterday. But then David, the mailbox guy, also I refer to him as David, the naked mailbox guy, because he's one that often goes down there and enjoys himself at that park where people like to walk around all nudidic. That's a medical term for being nude. So, David, you apparently you were a flight attendant with American Airlines for 10 years. You've actually experienced this same sort of stuff?
John, is that you?
Yes, it is me. David, is it you?
Coming in for final approach.
Yes, we are.
Hey, y'all, real quick.
Hey, yeah.
Okay.
You always say real quick, and then the story goes on for 5 minutes. Go ahead.
I'm Talker Dave, okay?
Okay.
Flight attendant, American Airlines, yes. 81 to 91. Joe doesn't remember that time frame. However, the best times of my life, 10 years, never went to work a day in my life. And I was how do I say this, a straight guy. So life was good. I use the letter S, by the way, to describe who I am. Now, airplane.
Yes.
You want the bad stories?
Yeah, please.
I'm going to go from bad to the worst.
Oh, good.
Please, y'all people that are out there, Joe freaked out when I told him. Can I tell you on the radio? So here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Flight attendant flies in. She goes in the hotel. All flight attendants' crews, when they check in, we're at the same floor. We put our bags, luggage right against the door. We walk in. We kick underneath the bed and look. We hit the drapes. We go into the bathroom, check the shower curtain. It's just common. Now, once in a while you might find something, but we usually don't.
Wait, explain that. What are you kicking under the bed, shower curtains? What's that all about?
What if somebody's hiding in the room?
Oh, come on. All right, go ahead.
Dude, pretty girls, okay?
Okay, all right.
Anyway, I got a lot of stories, but I'm just going to give you 3.
All right, go.
Flight attendant checks in, wasn't on my trip. She says, room's kind of stinky. The management says, God, we're booked up for a convention. Come on down to the restaurant. We'll buy you dinner. I'll send housekeeping up. She went back up. Room was smelling good. Went to bed, woke up, got to the airport, went to the next leg. The authorities were there. It's a dead body underneath her bed.
Oh.
It was decomposing.
Oh.
But when she went to kick the bed, it was like a solid box. So she didn't think to pick up the mattress. Y'all, pick up the mattress.
Ugh. Yes.
And if you pick up the mattress and you don't find a dead body, you'll find some magazines, probably. Okay. You want story 2?
Oh, yeah. How can you top that? Go ahead.
Oh, God, it's terrible. I don't know which one's worse.
All right.
They come out of a particular poor third nation country, whatever. Grandma needs to come in. They can't check her in. It's too expensive to put her the right way. You got to go to the airport or whatever it costs you to transfer a body. They put her in a garment bag. And they hang her in first class because that's where you put the garment bags back in the day.
Right.
And that's that one. Okay.
Wait, were you on that flight?
No, this is actually out of Miami to one of those islands.
Okay. All right. So grandma's hanging in the garment bag. Okay.
Yeah. You guys shut your radio
Did Grandma
off for this one.
meet her final destination, or did they figure that out?
You know, I'm going to check into all of these. These are all stories. There's a book out called Cabin Pressure, Cabin Fever, probably wrote 20 years ago, a couple of flight attendants. But just their stories, and there's some crazy stuff, and I can't imagine. You guys, 81 and 91, hello.
Yeah.
I'm John's age. I don't look, John, I'm going to buy a new car, but I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to put the 20,000 in my head.
All right. So listen, what was the one about the baby? Oof.
Okay, you guys, coming in for final approach on this one.
All right.
Oh, flight attendants are real cool. You're eating dinner, whatever. Hey, can I hold your baby? They're just there to help. This lady, she was stuck. She didn't want to give up the baby. Well, come to find out, like that guy with the cold hand, the baby was deceased and full of drugs.
Ooh. Oh my God!
Go to bed tonight and don't tell them who I am.
No.
And oh God, these are true. I don't know if they're true, but they're just stories within the airlines. And okay, when they teach you in training, if a guy or gal they die on the airplane, you need to do that. A weekend with Bernie?
Yes.
Just prop him up, put a pillow over there. I never had a dead guy, but. Yeah, it's nuts.
How often did you have to interfere with people trying to get into the Mile High Club?
You sat in row 30. I bought you drinks. I gave you a check card. How many people go in, left and right, and how many people go in together? I was a fun guy. 3 cocktails, row 30. I was a Coach Roach, John. I know you like that first class, but I would trade my first class if I was a flight attendant for the back of the airplane. Just because.
Wait a minute, David. You're telling me that you would encourage that type of behavior? You would give them a drink and let them go in there together?
Yes.
It was a different time. It was a different time.
81 to 91.
81 to 91. Come on. Everybody wants to.
Can I tell you?
Yes, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had to put out our smoking materials to land the plane. That meant cigarettes.
Oh, good old days.
You guys remember those? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They still have the place for razors, which is the weirdest thing. You went to some of those old.
Is that really?
Yeah, somebody go to some of those old airplanes and stuff, and I guess you drop straight edge razors into because people would shave, and then in the bathroom they would have a little spot for razors. I'm like, good golly, do you miss any of it?
I miss it all. I never went to work a day in my life as the letter S. It was beautiful. Now, let me tell you a quick story about the guy that dropped his Rolex in the toilet in coach. I go up front and I grab a first-class hanger. I break it in half. I go back, and there's one that has a hook. There's one that is the wood. I checked the blue water. It's only an inch deep.
Yeah.
I said, cabin service can meet us downline. It's going to fall onto the drain cap, and you'll get your watch. We'll have to be cabin service. But you can take this other one and take the hook, try to get it out. True story. I was there for this one.
Right.
The guy you heard in the bathroom, the biggest yell, Yahoo! He found his Rolex. So I took a plastic cup. 3 bottles of vodka would fit perfectly in that plastic cup. I opened the bathroom door. I gave it to him, and he said, I told him, you could either straight shoot this or clean your hands. If I were you, I'd do, straight shoot it. That's a true story. He's walking out. I'm in first class. I got to stand there and say, hey, thanks for flying American. If it's TWA, it means travel with American. I don't stop, John.
Yeah.
I said, buddy, he said to me, you want to buy this watch? Captain's right behind me. I said, buddy, you went through too much blank to get that watch. We started laughing, and the captain just looked at me like, who are you? But moral of the story, love you guys long time. If I send you a big box of Snickers for like $56, will you stay for a couple of years?
Yes, because you are out there. And
Yes.
by the way, I know it's too cold for you now, but we do want to continue to hear from you, David, not only texting the show, but also letting us know what happens with the nude beach
Denny
down
Blaine.
there. The Denny Blaine, right? Huh?
You guys are the backbone there. By the way, I'm in the hot tub.
Oh, okay. That's all we need to know. Okay, thank you, David.
No, I'm not.
That's not. We don't want to know. We don't. You in the hot tub with your things boiling around, your jet cleaning all their parts. David, thank you.
Love you guys long time.
Love you too, long time, Bo. There goes Nate. Check and traffic, Nate.
Yeah, South 5 just past Mercer. We've got a stall blocking that right lane that adds to our backup starting in Northgate. North 5, it is bumper to bumper from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge for Revive I-5. It's 35 minutes just to make it through this backup. In Puyallup, we've still got this collision westbound 512. Past Meridian, it's in your left lane, and traffic is jammed up all the way onto the Valley Freeway, and that backup stretches all the way back into Algona. Renton to Puyallup is a 45-minute drive. And in Federal Way, you've got a stall South 5 at South 320th in your left general purpose lane. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. Your backup starts in Tukwila. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I had a bad hip. It was so bad that the doctor told me, well, you got to get your hip replaced. But then he told me, you're too old. We don't want you to outlast the hip. So you're going to have to wait a couple of years. So that meant sleeping with the big pillows between my knees and then having a pillow while I drove because the hip was so bad. And if I got off a plane, sometimes I could hardly walk. And I kept thinking, there's got to be something else I could do. I knew about stem cell procedures. But I had talked to a couple of people that had them like 25 years ago. Oh, they don't work. I thought, but there's got to be some modern science. Somebody has to be making this stem cell procedure work. So I did some research, and I find this guy, Dr. Mark Wagner, and I started to do the research. He's done 20,000 of them. And I thought, well, you know what? It's worth it. So I take my x-rays and my MRI, send it over to Dr. Mark Wagner. He's right there at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. I'm going to walk in. Great group of nurses that are in there. And I look around, I see all these athletes' names and all of these jerseys, and they're all signed. Way to go, Dr. Mark Wagner. I thought, I'm in the right spot. I go in, I do a 90-minute procedure, in and out. It's been 10 weeks now, and my hip feels great. I'm the biggest believer in stem cell. If you've got a bad hip, shoulder, ankle, wrist, or knee, it's easier for me to say. It's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional.
If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
No heat, electrical issues, frozen pipes, no power? John Curley here, recommending you call Home Comfort Alliance. For over 40 years, doing heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical right, including standby generators. Call the comfort people at homecomfortalliance.com.
Want to say this story, Joe, or you want to do text messages? What do you want to do? It's your choice.
Let's do this one. I don't have them ready.
Okay, fine. I watched the video of this the other day, and it popped up. They're 8-year-olds. Where are they skating? This is Canada or the United States?
No, this was in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Hershey, Pennsylvania, Chocolate Town. So the question now is it real or was it staged? 8-year-old hockey match. All these kids end up just taking turns. Everyone just punching one another. And then the goalie from the other side comes down and just takes whacks at the kids.
It's an all-out brawl at a Pee-wee hockey game. These were the unbelievable scenes in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Pint-sized players, all 8 or under, go at it. The event was called Mites on Ice, a face-off that took place during intermission at a minor league hockey game.
Are you going to let this happen?
According to witnesses, no official, not even the referees, attempted to break up the brawl, and the crowd cheered on. In a statement, the Atlantic Amateur Hockey Association claims the fight was staged. We are aware of a staged fight that occurred. Affiliate league and club officials are investigating.
I was surprised that no one was stopping the fight.
Sports photography.
Yeah, it just kept going on and on. It's like, okay, the kids, normally if you watch, any hockey, they let them kind of punch a little bit, and then eventually at some point, if some guy gets knocked down, they come over there. But
photographer Leah Hollenbach shot this shocking video.
Do you think this was a real fight?
I feel like it was real at first, and then once they saw like how well the crowd was going, they continued it.
Former hockey great Brian Mullen had this to say on CBS Mornings.
Does it look staged to you, or these doesn't look staged, right? These kids are really fighting. It's not a good look.
Oh, well, brilliant. Glad we tuned in for that. We'll keep you up to date on whether it was staged or not. If it was staged, shame on the adults. Look, guys, do this, then it'll go social. And everything. That's
it. The more I watch it, the more I think it was not staged.
Okay, but why doesn't... Where are the refs sliding in there and pulling these little kids apart?
Maybe they didn't think they needed it. Because it's one of those during intermission matches. So
Okay. Then that's fine then. Yeah. Okay, it's intermission. Here's Nate with traffic. Nathan.
All righty, South 5 in Seattle, just past Mercer. We already cleared that stall that was blocking the right lane. We've got a backup from Northgate into downtown, which is very typical for this time of day. North 5 at Olive Way, we've got a new crash blocking the center lane. This adds to a thick backup that starts prior to the West Seattle Bridge. Across the Ship Canal Bridge, where 2 left lanes are blocked for road work, the Revive I-5 project. It's about 40 minutes now to make it through this backup. Still got our collision in Puyallup, westbound 512, just past Meridian. It's blocking your left lane. Traffic is backed up onto the Valley Freeway and all the way back into Algona. And now it's 50 minutes from Renton to Puyallup along the stretch of the Valley Freeway. In Federal Way, we just cleared our stall, South 5 at 320th. From your left lane, all lanes are back open. Seattle to Federal Way is up to 40 minutes, and that backup starts near the Duwamish Curve in Tukwila. Everywhere else, we're looking at very typical, usual backups for this time of day. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, it's on. Houses are starting to go online, and someone's putting a sign out in front of that house, and there's a pretty good chance if it is Mike Novak and the Novak team, that house is going to get sold. And I can tell you that because Mike Novak's got his money where his mouth is. He's going to be able to sell your house in 21 days, and if he doesn't, you don't have to pay him a commission. And that's big money out of his pocket because Novak, Michael, spend about 70 times more than the average agent coming to market that house of yours. Make sure it gets seen and then shown and then sold. And he simply has been doing this and making it work for years and years and years. He's got the numbers to show that he simply knows how to get that house sold. So as you start to notice more and more signs popping up in front of people's homes, you're going to be competing against those homes. And you want to make sure you have the best realtor you can possibly get. And when you get somebody like Mike Novak who says, I'm going to sell that house, if not, you don't have to pay me, you get 21 days. Mike Novak puts a sign on, start the clock, and you know what? Get that thing sold. First of all, make sure you get Mike Novak. Go meetthenovaks.com, meetthenovaks.com. Novak, N-O-V-A-K, meetthenovaks.com.
This is what the NFL playoffs are all about.
The Seahawks win the game!
A dominant Seahawks team, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
This is the vision that we had for our team.
Hosting a bitter rival.
Richard Sherman tips it!
In front of the best, loudest fans in the game.
Listen to the 12th man!
Let's go. Seahawks 49ers, Saturday night. Kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, you just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution.
Last year, the big news, obviously, was the accomplishment of the big, beautiful bill, but that also comes with some big, beautiful changes to the IRS.
There are some big, beautiful changes going on, and so many of those changes in the big, beautiful bill impact 2025. There's definitely some big spiffs in there for the ordinary working person. One thing that I'm really disappointed in is the way that things have been communicated in regards to the Social Security. It is still going to be taxed. It's not like it's not going to be taxed, but it will be, for most people, a reduction in the amount of tax.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump is urging Iranian anti-government demonstrators to keep protesting and that help is on the way. Sources tell CBS News that at least 12,000 people have been killed, but that number could be as high as 20,000. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer also reports.
It appears that on Friday night, many people were killed and at least 350, possibly 400 bodies were taken there and just laid out in the courtyard so families could come and identify their loved ones.
There are now reports that the regime in Iran plans to start hanging anti-government protesters. The president was asked about it in an exclusive interview with CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel and is vowing to strike back in some form against Iran.
The end game is to win. I like winning.
How do you define that in Iran?
Well, let's define it in Venezuela. Let's define it with al-Baghdadi. He was wiped out. Let's define it with Soleimani. And let's define it in Iran, where he wiped out their Iran nuclear threat.
The Clintons and Republican House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer are lashing out at each other over the former president and First Lady's refusal to comply with a subpoena in the Jeffrey Epstein probe. Comer says he'll start contempt of Congress proceedings against former President Bill Clinton after Clinton did not show today.
One reason I think most Americans want President Clinton to answer some questions is because he visited the White House. Jeffrey Epstein visited the White House 17 times while Bill Clinton was president.
The Clintons wrote a letter to Comer calling the subpoenas unenforceable. House Speaker Mike Johnson answered some reporter questions today and was asked about the Justice Department probe into Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
Chairman Powell's an individual. He is not the Fed. He's the chair of the Fed, okay? And it's a serious allegation if he was not truthful in testimony to Congress. That is not a congressional investigation. That's a DOJ investigation. We have to let that play out.
The Supreme Court is now considering the future of transgender athletes in school sports. The justices heard arguments on cases in Idaho and West Virginia. Those are two of the 27 states that ban transgender athletes from playing in girls' and women's sports. CBS's Jan Crawford.
Lawyers for transgender athletes in Idaho and West Virginia argued that these bans violate the Constitution. They violate federal anti-discrimination law that guarantees that they should be able to participate. They can't be excluded based on their sex. But lawyers for the states and for the Trump administration said that, they're not being excluded under federal law, that they can still participate in sports. These laws just restrict participation to a person's biological sex.
Inflation cooled slightly in December. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, Governor Ferguson delivers his States of the State address in Olympia. But first, Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It's a busy commute out there. We just cleared a crash North 5 at Olive Way, but we've got a solid backup approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge where Revive I-5 is underway. Plan on 35 minutes to clear this backup. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both 1-hour commutes. South 5 into Seattle is heavy from Northgate to I-90. In Puyallup, we still got this collision westbound 512. It's just past Meridian. It's blocking your left lane, and this is why traffic is bumper to bumper onto the Valley Freeway, and it's backed up all the way into Algona. And right now, Renton to Puyallup pushing 50 minutes. In Federal Way, we just cleared a stall South 5 at 320th about 15 minutes ago, but it added to a pretty thick backup starting way back in Tukwila. Seattle to Federal Way is going to take you 45 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 50 minutes. We're slow in South Tacoma, and then scattered backups between JBLM and DuPont. Going the other way, North 5 at Bridgeport Way, a crash blocks your right lane. Right now, you're backed up to Berkeley Avenue. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo.
The state of our state remains strong.
Governor Bob Ferguson today delivering his States of the State address, acknowledging tough choices ahead of this legislative session, saying he has 3 priorities.
Invest in our infrastructure, make our tax system more fair, and continue our progress on addressing the housing crisis.
On taxes, part of his strategy includes a tax on income over $1 million. Republican State Senator Drew McEwen.
This current administration and legislature have an unquenchable thirst for more taxes. They might start there, but don't have any illusions that's where it's going to end. And it's an income tax.
Also in Olympia, lawmakers are now considering a bill to allow privately owned labs to examine evidence in DUI cases. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains why.
The bill aims to prevent cases from going uncharged because of backlogs at the state lab. Seattle City Attorney Erica Evans says for DUIs, it currently takes 22 months to get lab results back.
Which means that if someone commits a DUI today in Seattle, it won't be until the end of the summer of 2027 that we can actually file charges in that case.
James McMahon with the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs says more money and resources would also solve the backlog issue. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's new mayor faces a campaign finance penalty. SeattleRed.com reports the city says Katie Wilson's campaign did not report more than $10,000 in child care costs paid by her parents. That was a key talking point during the campaign. Wilson did cooperate, paid a $250 fine for that violation. So far, no comment from the mayor. Washington's highways took a big hit from last month's flooding. Now, state transportation officials say damage is estimated at $40 to $50 million. WashDOT Steve Rourke told the House Transportation Committee.
I want to emphasize it is just that. It is an estimate. It does include our best estimate at our state force work and the work we are contracting out.
Not clear yet how much federal aid would cover. Governor Ferguson plans to ask President Trump for a major disaster declaration to unlock that funding. Now to your weather update. We are going to see some morning fog tomorrow, mainly cloudy on Wednesday, not quite as warm as today. Sunshine for Thursday and Friday. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Somebody normal.
Listen, I've got to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day. It's going to be very uncomfortable for everybody.
Yeah.
Want anybody yelling.
Okay.
We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the is going to hit the fan.
Okay, well, that's good. But I'm glad he called us to tell us that. That's very helpful right there. Nice. Okay, here we go. We're diving into the news. We're diving in. All right, some local news for everybody. So this is, well, they just talked about Katie having some problems with the her reporting there. $10,000 from her mom and dad to take care of I guess that would be a donation to the campaign. They'll straighten that out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Seattle mayor faces scrutiny over the social media post with the anti-ICE imagery. So I guess it was on Sunday, right? They had a big, we hate ICE. ICE is horrible. Let legal immigrants continue to live in our city. And even those that are criminals, we want to keep them here. We're a sanctuary city. So she's there. And I guess the problem is, she's standing there, and a whole bunch of people are standing around her with signs and stuff like that, right? So KOMO News reports.
I would not, I repeat, I would not have put that photo up for anybody to see.
The photo posted to Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's official X account at an anti-ICE rally at Cal Anderson Park Sunday. The image shows the mayor posing with two individuals, one of whom is holding a sign with a small sticker in the corner that reads, "Nazis own flammable cars." KOMO political analyst Ron Dotzauer calls it a political mistake.
It doesn't matter what your politics are. If you're on the left, if you're on the right, if you're a moderate, whoever you are, being associated with a photo that has the word Nazi in it, no matter what your intent is a bad idea.
The mayor's office told me in an email, our city is facing an affordability crisis. Thousands of homeless people are living outside, and our civil rights are under attack. Right. That's what the mayor is spending her time on, not commenting on a blurry sticker on the edge of a social media post.
Yeah, listen, there's so much stuff. I guess whoever put it up didn't think anything bad about it, because the word Nazi has now become it's commonplace. Call somebody a Nazi. The president's a Nazi. Elon Musk is a Nazi. You're a Nazi. He's a Nazi. Everybody's a Nazi. So who cares if she got the thing up? The woman's got the sweatshirt on next there with Katie Wilson. Says fight ICE. Okay, so we have people that want to fight ICE. We have people that want to kill ICE. We've got people here, some protesters. This was in Portland or Seattle. This might have been in Seattle right here. So ICE is out there rounding up people, and then you get all the protesters screaming and yelling. Hey, you're murderers.
These Border Patrol officers have got yourself surrounded.
Oh, yeah. You're going to die. You're going to die. We're going to kill you. We're going to throw stuff at you. We're going to run you out of town. You got Mayor Fry there in Minneapolis. Get the F out of here. We hate you, ICE, and we're going to come get you. A lot of these guys get doxxed. There's a story, I think it might have been in Seattle. ICE agent was followed home. They then put his address up. They wanted to be able to let everybody know. Why would you dox somebody? Why would you make their home address public? There's really only one reason why people want to do this. They want to cause harm for the person. They want to make their life uncomfortable. So they want to dox them, and they do dox them. And they're hoping that maybe some other crazy person would go to the person's house that is a federal agent and do something to them or their kids, right? That's why you dox. Here is where they live. Go get them. Go to their house. Do something to them. There are laws against doxing in the state of Washington. I looked it up to see if anybody's actually been charged. A few people have, but, it's a civil case, so you're not going to be able to follow much of it. So what they've decided to do, who's the senator there is, who's going to come up with this?
Valdez, I believe.
Yeah, Valdez. So they want to come up with this, if you are an ICE agent, you're not allowed to wear a mask so that we can see your face. We want to see your face. We want to know what you look like so we don't scare anybody.
We need to be direct about what is happening in our country and our state with ICE. It's horrific, it's unjust, and it needs to stop now. I'm angry about this, and I think many of you are as well. As an American, I never thought I would see federal agents in masks.
Okay, why are they in masks, Bob? Why are they wearing masks? You think they want to wear a mask? They're wearing masks because you have people in Seattle, in the great state of Washington, screaming at these people, we're going to kill you. You're going to die. So they're wearing a mask, just like a cop would wear a bulletproof vest for his own protection or her own protection, right? She's got a bulletproof vest on because people want to take a shot at a cop. These guys are wearing masks because they don't want to get doxxed. They want to get their picture taken and then have their life threatened by people and have their life hanging in a balance because some crazy person wants to kill them. That's why they're wearing the mask, for their own protection. And you want to do what?
American, I never thought I would see federal agents in masks jumping out of unmarked cars and grabbing people off our streets.
Why are they grabbing people off the streets, Bob? Oh, I need to get an answer for that.
This conduct will undoubtedly be remembered as a shameful period in our nation's history. Senator Valdez has a bill that prohibits law enforcement from wearing masks and requires identifying information to be clearly displayed on their uniform. Let's get that legislation to my desk immediately so I can sign that into law.
Yay. All right, so let's do this. Just follow this. Ready? This is my theory from yesterday, like watching Netflix, right? So just imagine. All right, so he's going to get that thing signed into law right away. Okay, so now they say to the federal agents, you can't wear the mask, right? This probably then might get up into D.C. and they'd fight a little bit. But let's just imagine for a moment, so we can't have you wear a mask. All right, they take the mask off. Some ICE agent goes to get somebody, and they grab him and bring him in there. Somebody takes a picture, and then you can easily take that picture and figure out who that guy is. Now, worst case scenario for Bob would be one of these morons decides to go and kill that guy. They now know who he is. They see his picture, and they can go to his house, or maybe they can go to his house and get his kid or get his wife or some other thing like that, because let's forget it. They're all, jackbooted thugs. They're all a bunch of Nazis. And the guy gets killed. And you find out the reason he got killed is because the person was able to get a photo of him, they were able to identify him, and then go kill him. So, and let's say the ICE agent is a local guy. Does Bob Ferguson go to that funeral? You're going to be sitting there, Bob, right down front, federal agent, local guy, living in Seattle, gets killed, doesn't have a mask on. They're able to identify who he is. And who is Bob going to be there when they hand the flag to the widow? Probably not. But this is such a blatant pandering. They're wearing the mask. They didn't wear them before. They started wearing them because they were getting doxxed. That's why they're wearing them. Take the mask off. We don't want you. We want to be able to see your face. Why? Why do you want to see their face? Because it's so terrifying that the guy's got a mask on. I don't mind him having ID on there. If it says ICE agent, that's who it is. They're going there. Why are they having to go get these guys in the street? Because the state of Washington is a sanctuary city. They get illegal immigrants that have committed crimes. And when ICE says, hey, a retainer, please hold them. We want to come get them. It'd be really easy to go get them because they're already right there. Nope, we let them go walk out in the street, let them go home, let them go somewhere else. And then the ICE agents have to go find the guys and go get the guys. I'm not saying they're getting everyone that they're supposed to be getting. Yes, they're sweeping some of these guys up. Yes, you can look at the numbers and you can find out they miss on a few, right? But this idea, if you vilify a federal agent like Bob is obviously doing, and other elected officials are doing as well, you are creating a situation where you get the people that are so against this seeing ICE as Nazis, less than human, that deserve to be beaten or shot or have thrown at them bricks or have their cars run into. But this idea of taking the mask off is somehow what? Going to make people feel better? If, and God forbid, one of these guys, because he doesn't have a mask on, if Bob signs this thing into law and it doesn't get challenged in court by the feds, then you better hope that one of those guys doesn't end up having something horrible happen to them because they're wearing the mask for protection like a cop wears a bulletproof vest. But let's just all jump on with this one. You know what the weird part is? This is one of the biggest things that Trump said he was going to do. And I'm not saying it's the best system that they've had. Obama, deported 3 million. Trump ran on the fact that we're going to try to get the 10 or 11 million people that came into this country illegally. We're going to get the worst of the worst. They're getting the worst of the worst. I think 600,000 they've rounded up, sent out. I think another 1 million have left on their own. Those are the numbers. Yes, occasionally they grab somebody, hold them for whatever reason. They got them and let them go again. It's messy. It's very, very messy. I get that. But if you're okay with having people, though, that have no problem sodomizing a 12-year-old girl living in your city, that's the case in Minneapolis, and the case of the other person they're trying to get there in Minneapolis as well, sodomizing a 14-year-old girl, and most of the two people that they're trying to get, that the ICE hater people were out there. Are you okay? So you say one of those person that's out there, screaming and yelling about ICE, where you're going to die. You say, okay, we got a room here. In this room, we have a guy that snuck into the country and sodomized a 12-year-old. He's in this chair. And then in this chair, we've got an ICE agent, right? So which one you got a problem with? And you get the protesters there. Are they angry at the ICE agent? Is that where the anger is? They mad about that guy doing his job? Or are they okay with they wouldn't let the guy go back out on the streets and then, let all the 12-year-olds know that, hey, look out. He's back out there, but we don't want to send him away. So sad. So sad. So sad.
Very messy.
Very messy. Very. Seattle named one of the most stressed, burned out cities in the United States. For work?
Yep.
Okay. Where does that study come from?
Oh, probably Wallet Hub.
Yeah, they do that all the time. Where they're asking people how they're feeling, and then at that point you get them going, I don't feel well, I hate my job. So then
Atlanta's worst, apparently. Seattle came in at number 2.
Burned out cities.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd seen one other little thing, we didn't have it here in the news, that Katie Wilson and her people want to do something about the commercial buildings in the city of Seattle that are not being rented. I think we're 36% occupancy or vacancy rate, very high. I think we're above San Francisco. So here's their plan. So you got a problem here. You can't rent. Nobody wants to rent these commercial buildings. They're hollowed out. So here's what they've decided to come up with. Let's tax them or fine them if they have an empty commercial space.
I don't believe this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's their plan. That if you can't rent it, you're not renting it, you know what? You better drop the price. Because if you don't drop the price and get somebody in there, we're going to fine you or tax you. So here's the guy that's got the commercial building, billions of dollars tied up in the loans and everything. There's nobody wants to come in. Nobody wants to rent it. It's just sitting there. It's empty. So what's the city decide to do? Oh, I know how to solve that. Let's increase the price of the guy that has to pay the bills every single month for the loan for the commercial building. I know how we can incentivize him. Don't give him a tax break on it. Don't give him some sort of incentive to get the thing rented. Fine him for every single month that the thing remains unoccupied. Yeah, bizarre? You hadn't heard that one?
No, I haven't.
Crazy talk.
Come on.
I'm in crazy town.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, let's see what happened. So the guy's like, okay, I can't rent it for, they're trying to rent the thing for, but per square foot, whatever it's supposed to be. I can't find any tenant. I could drop the price, but then at that point, I'm losing money on it. So it's not working, but they kind of keep the price there. But then the city says, well, you better get somebody in there or you're going to have to pay us.
They're really proposing this.
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, hold on 1 second. By the way, I was watching video of the poor fans there in Philadelphia. When it was the 49ers playing in Philly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I asked my brother about it. He goes, it's because the fans, the fans pride themselves on being unbelievably rude.
Yeah.
And if you're going to wear a 49ers anything to a Philadelphia Eagles game, you kind of deserve it. I mean, would you really want to subject yourself to that sort of abuse from people?
Oh, they were throwing beer cans and stuff at him before they even got inside the stadium.
Right, yeah. And yelling and screaming at him. Yeah. I remember I was standing in line behind this guy. He had a Seahawks jersey on, and we're flying somewhere. And I said to him, where are you going? I think he was going to go to Pittsburgh. I think the Seahawks are playing. I don't remember when this was. I said, are there some places that you won't wear the jersey? No, I'm a fan through and through. I said, yeah, but you're subjecting yourself to being hit in the head with something. Is it really worth it? Man, you got to show your colors. And he goes, but I got to tell you, seriously, I'm Philly. I'm a little hesitant to wear it in New York as well. But would you wear that to a game? I don't care how much you are a fan. Why subject yourself to that sort of nonsense?
I think Philly's the one place I would just, no question, would not wear any opposing team's jersey.
It's just not worth it because they're priding themselves on. I watched the video of them being screamed at the entire time.
It's part of their identity is to not only scream at your own team, but make it twice as hard on the opposing.
There's a funny story Rye told me. I forget who the guy was. So he's playing for the Phillies, and they're booing him, really, really booing him, bad. He then goes into the dugout, and an open mic catches him saying, "God, I hate this place. I hate these people." And the next day, he gets up to bat, and they give him a standing ovation.
Huh.
Why? This is in Philly. Why?
Because he owned the hatred?
He recognized the fact that they're doing that, and he's like, God, I hate this place. And by him sort of recognizing that they're horrible people, and then in return, they gave him a standing ovation. It totally confused him.
Oh, these are your people, John.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Go on over there. Go get them.
Was his name Vern?
I hate my job. I hate my life. Here comes Nate. Check your traffic. Get on.
Thanks, John. The drive through Seattle is really rough headed north. It's a parking lot approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, where, of course, 2 left lanes are closed to revive I-5. Plan on 35 minutes just to make it through this backup. Northbound 99, a great alternate route, but it is packed through the downtown tunnel. North of Seattle looks great. Once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, you're clear all the way into Mount Lake Terrace, and then from there, it's just minor slowing through Linwood. Seattle to Linwood, 45 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, 45 minutes. It's solid still from Bellevue to Canyon Park, and as normal, it is jam-packed through Kirkland. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, plan on a half hour on both 529-90. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're clearing out. We're down to 40 minutes. Still seeing scattered backups, though, down the entire stretch, really, into Puyallup. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, here's a New Year's resolution that is guaranteed to succeed. I'm talking about reversing hair loss. This is a quick, easy, one-day hair loss solution from Advanced Hair. It begins to regrow the very next day. Your natural hair begins to grow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow. And Dr. Alan Perungo, world-class Dr. Alan Perungo, is there with his top-rated team at Advanced Hair. And these guys have recently been crowned, I think, the second year in a row, 425 Business of the Year. So if you're like me, as your hair started thin, it's not coming back. So you have a decision to make. Do you want to go bald? Maybe you shave your head. You risk the fact that you don't have some weird birthmark up there. Or you just get your hair back. So if it's a New Year's resolution, this is a great move for you. Fuller head of hair for you as a resolution, and you can achieve this. You can celebrate the new year with Advanced Hair and a full head of hair. They're going to give you $250 off, 250 free hair graft. You can schedule a free consultation at 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. That's advancedhair.com.
This is what the NFL playoffs are all about.
The Seahawks win the game!
A dominant Seahawks team, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
This is the vision that we had for our team.
Hosting a bitter rival.
Richard Sherman tips it!
In front of the best, loudest fans in the game.
Listen to the 12th man!
Let's go. Seahawks 49ers, Saturday night. Kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in 1 day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
If you've been putting off retirement conversations because you're worried it's going to turn into a sales pitch, you're not alone. Hi, Ursula Reutin here. At Trajan Wealth, the focus starts with listening. Their advisors are fiduciaries, which means they're bound to put your needs first, and that changes the tone right away. No pressure, no promises, they're not working off commissions, and they're not pushing any specific products. With Trajan Wealth, it's about understanding where you are and having a clearer sense of what your options look like. Trajan Wealth is veteran-owned and works with families who want thoughtful guidance that fits real life. Start the new year off right with a game-changing financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth today to figure out how to make your New Year's resolution stick. Trajan, spelled Trajan. Call 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Newly released body camera video shows the moments right after a man walking on I-5 knocks a state trooper down and locks himself in her patrol car. This happened on Christmas Day. The suspect took off. Another trooper then drove a car into that stolen cruiser. That successful pit maneuver stopped the suspect, who was arrested on felony charges. Lawmakers in Olympia want to ban federal immigration agents from wearing masks while in public. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey says that bill is moving through the legislature this session.
The bill is designed to prohibit ICE and border agents from wearing masks during immigration raids. Anyone detained by an officer who violates that rule could then file a civil lawsuit seeking damages and attorney's fees. U.S. Attorney Pete Serrano says the bill threatens federal agents.
As of last fall, doxing increased by 1,000% and 8,000% death threats to our members of law enforcement community.
A similar law in California is now being challenged in federal court as unconstitutional. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Inflation is up nationwide. It is even higher here in the greater Seattle area, however. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch explains.
Nationally, the Consumer Price Index rose 2.7% over the past year, but in the Seattle area, it increased 3.1%. Food here went up 4.4% overall. That includes a 1.5% hike in your grocery bill and 7.6% increase eating out. Energy prices, including gas, advanced 7.2%. You're paying over 5% more for medical care and 1.7% extra for shelter. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
Stevens Pass is offering refunds after December's highway closures left skiers stranded. The resort says it's making a one-time exception to its policy, giving eligible pass holders a prorated refund. This covers 9 days of lost access between December 23rd and the 31st. That is about 7% of the course season. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:32 with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, it is really busy here in Seattle, particularly northbound because of Revive I-5. So North 5, we're stuck in first gear from the Michigan curve all the way across the Ship Canal Bridge where 2 left lanes are blocked, and this will be our new normal through June before we catch a brief break for World Cup action. We're up to 45 minutes to make it through this backup. Northbound 99, a viable option, but it's packed now from Soto all the way through the downtown tunnel. North of Seattle looking great. Once you clear this backup, just a little slowing between Mount Lake Terrace and Linwood, and Bellevue to Linwood, 45 minutes. It is still solid from Bellevue to Canyon Park, and you're just barely scooting through Kirkland. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, plan on a half hour still on both 520 and 990. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. It's really thick from 520 to Coal Creek Parkway. Tacoma to Olympia, we've improved to about 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Now to your forecast, looking at some cloudy skies tonight, but some clearing also as the evening goes on. Morning fog Wednesday, not quite as warm as this afternoon. Sunshine for Thursday and Friday. Right now, 53 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Wilcox back? No, not yet. All right, Teeny, sorry. Where is she?
I am so sad.
I know. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Teeny. No eggs to you. No eggs for you, right? Our professor of atmospheric sciences at the UW, Cliff Mass, the man with the best voice in radio. There he is. Cliff, I don't see you as a kind of guy that wants to roll up the sleeves and, bare knuckle, start rolling around, punching people over missed forecasts. How did you get dragged into this latest sort of cat fight between other forecasters? Come on, Mass, that's not you, is it?
No, I wasn't starting any fights. This was a story in the Seattle Times.
Here we go.
And,
Here we go.
Yeah. Which is a problem to start off with, obviously.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of amateurs that are out there with YouTube channels and Twitter feeds and whatever.
Yeah.
And some of them were going crazy. They were going for the big windstorm of the century. And unfortunately, the Weather Service did the same thing for one day. So it was pretty unfortunate. Very bad forecast.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get Mike Schneider to come to your house and, try to duke it out with you. But so is this him on the 23rd, joke? This is him talking about the big.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but here we go. So this is, if you tuned into his channel, he would get this.
We're getting the word out to people that we do have the potential for a significant wind event. However, we still have big model disagreement, and they do talk about that in this morning's discussion. They talk about the GFS showing a much stronger low off the coastline versus a weaker low on the European model. However, the high-resolution model do trend towards a windier solution. So again, big differences, and we're coming up on this event. So I'm probably going to do another video here in the next few hours as we get a look at some of the 18Z data from some of the high-resolution stuff coming in.
So a lot of these guys you refer to them as amateurs, right? So, and then they put up, look out, everybody, 80 mile an hour, 75 mile an hour winds. And you're sort of saying, are they doing real harm?
Well, sometimes, but quite frequently, they hype things up.
Yes.
And they have an economic model to do that. They have these YouTube channels, and the more hits they get, the more money they get.
Yeah.
So they try to make things exciting. The problem is this is sort of like practicing medicine without a medical degree. So these people have no background in what they do. They don't have a degree in atmospheric sciences. They haven't studied the atmosphere. They don't have a long experience doing this. So they get out there and they look at stuff online and they make these pronouncements and these forecasts, and often they're wrong. and that's the problem. And a lot of people listen, and they don't have good information to work with, so it's a problem.
With the skies falling, with Turkey Lurkey and the rest, wouldn't you eventually, if you go to one of these places, these amateur guys or these people that consider themselves to be, really learning and putting this information out there, if you went to the blog or you went to their YouTube and they gave you bad, erroneous information, you wouldn't go back again. You'd be like, well, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So they would eventually find some more credible source. But it's amazing that the number of them that are like jumping all over you, Cliff. They said, it's, Cliff Mass is saying, I don't appreciate you going out of your way to diss me and many others when you've made the same mistakes, added Whidbey Island photographer and self-described weather forecaster and storm chaser Jonathan Pulley. What say you, Cliff Mass?
Well, in fact, they were fighting among themselves. Some of them, actually understood that the situation wasn't dire. And so they were actually calling each other names. That in fact, the Seattle Times article starts with that.
Yeah,
they were attacking each other. It's kind of silly.
It is.
But in the end, weather forecasting has gotten much better. A lot of stuff is online. A lot of the models that we use to forecast the weather, they're online.
Yeah,
and so you have people who basically with no background looking at this stuff and then making these forecasts. And, there's freedom of speech. You can't stop them from doing it. But it's a problem. It's very much like practicing medicine, but without having a medical degree.
All right.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, statute of limitations has run out, so I can confess to this. When I was doing weather in Washington, D.C., when I was doing weather in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, where it was very serious, especially in Washington, the news director would come running in. How many inches we're going to go? What do you think? And I would see what the Bob Ryan on Channel 4 was doing and Topper Shut on Channel 7 was doing. I'm like, okay, what are they saying? 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 3 to 7. I go, 8 to 12. And he's like, where are you getting that from? I said, just go with it. Go with it. That was great then, because then, we're going to go live to you, because then we're going to go to you in the weather forecast center. And you're like, well, anywhere between 8 to 12 inches of snow should start to make its way in to the area. We can expect the winds to be able to pick up as the winds. I was just like throwing it out there because I thought, well, you'll get more attention and people will be more excited. I'm very sorry, Cliff, I did that. I'm very sorry that I did that. I'm very sorry.
Well, in fact, I knew Bob Ryan very well.
Okay.
I was in D.C. for a while, and I actually worked with him for a few years. But
he was no fan of mine, because when I got nominated for an Emmy Award, he got up at the Emmy Awards and said, I think we need to make a clear distinction between those people that have dedicated their life to the science of meteorology and then just some, glib male model who just makes jokes the whole time but doesn't even know what he's talking about. He said that at the Emmy Awards, and I'm sitting there going, well, who's he talking about? Bob was very serious.
I know, but and a more serious problem here
Yes.
is not the amateurs who are going off. It's the fact the Weather Service is not as good as it used to be, and the fact that they messed up the forecast. You gave that quote from Schneider.
Yeah.
But what happened was right after that, the Weather Service went for this pretty severe event, and they shouldn't have. It was very wrong. And then he and the rest went with the big event, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a serious forecast error, and this has happened repeatedly. And in fact, if you look at the skill in the National Weather Service compared to what you get on your phone, weather.com or the Weather Channel, whatever you use, they're not as good.
Why
So
why has the quality decreased with the National Weather Service?
Well, the first reason is the main weather model they use is inferior to the best. The European Center has the best weather forecast model. The U.S. model is patently inferior. And in fact, several of the other forecast models the Weather Service uses is inferior. So that's a real problem. So they start off with bad material. And then, they're spending their time doing stuff I won't get into, but stuff that's not very productive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not getting enough training locally. So there's a number of reasons. I've blogged about this.
Yeah.
Why the Weather Service forecasts are not as skillful as they should be. To me, that's the real problem.
I guess the seriousness of it is the fact that if, it's the boy that cries wolf, at a certain point, if these guys hype this stuff up and then it fails, they hype it up and it fails. And when it really is serious, and we're talking about down power lines, we're talking about, intense storms with a lot of snow, people they won't believe them, right? And then they'll be making decisions based upon, it's not going to be that bad. And the next thing you know, you're caught yourself in a flash flood, or you are now stuck on I-90 and you're not prepared. So where's the best place other than the Cliff Mass spot? Is it the Weather Channel? Is that the best place to get good information?
Well, for the day in, day out forecasts,
yeah,
you really can't beat like the Weather Channel. I mean, there's a website where they actually verify the Weather Service and everybody else. It's called forecastadvisor.com. And you'll see that the Weather Service is always down low. So for your daily forecasts, you're much better off using the Apple Weather or the Weather Channel or something like that. You're better off. But the trouble is, for the real extreme rare stuff, you really would like to have state-of-the-art forecasting at the Weather Service. That's really important.
Okay.
In this event, they exaggerated it. They went for this high wind warning that didn't verify.
Right.
Remember the ice storm a few years ago?
Sure.
They missed that.
Yes.
They missed that one.
They did.
And so that's the other side.
Yeah.
So we've seen for the most extreme events, they often have missed. And that's a problem.
Well, this makes you feel any better. Here's Michael Snyder admitting it.
Well, that low pressure system is crawling up the coastline, a little bit too far inland here to bring a major blow to much of western Oregon and western Washington. Very close call, but these compact lows on these tracks are very difficult to forecast. But man, our models were waffling all the way up until the last minute. I kind of started to get wind that we're probably not going to have a big blow last night. I considered doing another video, but I didn't put it out. I only put a post on X about that.
Okay. He missed it. All right, Cliff Mass, we'll let you get back to whatever you're doing over there. We always appreciate your time.
Wait. Snow next week? Snow? Is that?
Snow? Yeah. Hey, huh?
No, I don't think so. But I was joking about it on my blog a little bit. Some of the extremely long-range forecasts.
Okay.
Out 15 days, we're going for snow, lowland snow, but they've already backed off it. So I would suspect that's very low probability. But wait for a while.
Well, as a glib male model, I'm predicting anywhere between 6 and 14 inches. Thanks, Cliff Mass. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, there he goes. All right, here comes Nate. Check traffic, Nathan.
All right, North 5 through Seattle. We're just barely moving from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge, where we have Revive I-5 underway. 45 minutes to make it through this backup. Once you get through it, though, I-5 is all clear all the way into Linwood, and then just a little slowing left through Linwood. Northbound 99, again, a viable option, but it is bumper to bumper from Soto through that downtown tunnel. North 5 remains solid from Bellevue to Canyon Park. Bellevue to Linwood's going to take you 45 minutes. Really tough through Kirkland still. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle has gone up a few minutes, 35 minutes on both routes. Seattle to Federal Way, we're clear now. We're down to 25 minutes. Southbound 167 remains heavy in the south end from Pacific into Puyallup. Tacoma to Olympia, just 40 minutes. You're a little crowded through South Tacoma and again through JBL-M and DuPont. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, attention landlords. Madrona Financial is here to help you. Are you actually making money? Should you sell the property? What's going to be the tax implications? Madrona is going to have a landlord exit workshop. It's free. It's hands-on. It's designed to help landlords understand the true numbers behind their rental properties and make a confident decision about whether to keep or sell them. And it happens in person this Thursday at 3 p.m. UW Tacoma. So many landlords are sitting on properties that look good, but they're not performing. You're going to learn how to evaluate the cash flow, equity, taxes, long-term risks, and if selling makes sense, how to do it most effectively to avoid those taxes. Now, again, this is Madrona's free landlord exit workshop. It's Thursday, 3 p.m., UW Tacoma campus. Space is limited, and the seats are going to fill up fast. They always do, because Madrona's got the information you need. Even if you don't want to sell, you want to get the information, this is Madrona free landlord exit workshop. 833-673-7373. That's 833-673-7373. Reserve your spot. Go to madronafinancial.com/events.
If you've saved more than $300,000, you may have a big problem in retirement, and it's taxes. Taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, taxes on your Social Security benefits, taxes on your investment income, and more. And when you add it all up, this could be your largest expense in retirement. That's why it's critical you get in front of this now. Hi, it's Charlie Harger. Discover the strategies that could significantly reduce your taxes in retirement with a free, customized retirement tax savings analysis. It's from Boss Retirement Solutions, who has 2 locations in Seattle. Schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. That's 206-210-1350. Don't overpay your taxes to the government. Call 206-210-1350.
Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. No statement contained herein should constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Here we go. Okay, letters quick. How many time? No. There we go. Here we get the letter of the day first. Take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, Joseph, is John really going to buy a delicious bag of oranges? Yummy.
Okay. Mike in Portland says, what? James Joyce died 1941? I thought he was still alive.
I thought he died in 1841. Arthur in Kent says, snazzy Peaky Blinders hat, John. My grandpa had the same one in Ukraine. I had it shipped over here after he passed at 91.
It's bringing back good memories for you. 360 says, I haven't been listening for a while. John, why is John slurring?
Jesse B says, John looks so much less puffy and weepy today. But yesterday, I told my husband that his head looked round like Elroy Jetson.
RLE guy is going to be really upset John's wearing glasses. They're fake glasses.
That's right.
I'm trying to cover up look at the gross stuff underneath. See? Look at that. Look at that, huh?
Hey, John, 253 says, hey, John, I just want to let you know so you're not mocked. The phrase, the sky is falling is from Chicken Little, not Turkey Lurkey.
Well, no, Turkey Lurkey was involved in it.
That's true, same.
Yeah.
Jump down to the Kai there.
Kai, 801 says, what do I do if I'm on an airplane? Do I jump out?
According to the instructions, this is for the January 20th walkout.
Oh, right.
Yes. Josh in Auburn says, the walkout. So you're telling me on January 20th at 2 p.m. I'm supposed to jump out of my semi and stop working and record it? Message received.
Harold Tacoma says, Nate could have been taking the Chilkoot?
Chilkoot.
Yeah, trail for Hands Across America. That's Harold Tacoma. All right.
That's Alaskan humor.
All right, letter of the day. Thank you, Teeny.
This is from Hee Haw Aaron. He says, I wasn't aware that John had a fear of neck skin.
Yeah.
All I can think of is the word for it is necrophilia. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's a good one, Hee Haw.
It was better when I read it.
That's nothing wrong with that.
That's all she wrote.
Should we do another hour and make it look like it's live?
Yes.
Leave the mistakes in, Andrew.
She left the glue.
There we go. That'll be live.
My front
door. Here comes Nathan checking traffic.
All right, North 5, we're bumper to bumper for the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge due to Revive I-5 taking up 2 left lanes at the Ship Canal. 40 minutes to make it through this backup, but once you get through it, you're all clear. Northbound 99 is packed from Soto through the downtown tunnel, in case you were considering that as an option. North 405 remains heavy from Bellevue to Canyon Park. Bellevue to Linwood's going to take you 45 minutes. Still bumper to bumper through Kirkland. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, still struggling. About a half-hour drive on both 520 and I-90. Southbound 167 remains heavy in the south end from Pacific into Puyallup. And now in the U District, police activity is blocking Northeast 50th at 16th Avenue in both directions. You cannot access that area. They're dealing reports with a man with a machete. Avoid the area. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I got to tell you something. This is the best investment we have made in the barn. When Nick kept saying we need to get the place better organized, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then she kept telling me we got to get better organized. She said all that stuff in the garage, I'm just going to throw it all out. It's just projects you're half-assing. You're never going to get it done. I said, what can I do to keep my projects alive? Because I don't want to see them when I come in. It's like, okay, fine. So we call Closets by Design. We like them because they've been around for 22 years. They're family-run, and they're going to try to source as many of their materials in the Pacific Northwest. Like that idea. So the designer comes out. They're with us from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. They come up with the design, and I was like, oh, my God, what's this going to cost? The garage it's like something you see in a magazine. And then they did the master bedroom with this huge closet, all these cabinets and everything. It's amazing. And the fact that Closets by Design truly customizes, but you don't get that truly customized price because they're going to give you a big savings, 40% off, plus an additional 15% off at 18 months financing and free installation. That's Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Investigation into Fed Chair Jerome Powell, what it means for the Fed's independence and the nation's economy.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna weighs in.
Love that touchscreen in your car? According to new research from UW, you might be part of the problem on the roads.
Speaking of the roads, Revive I-5. Sully has his eyes on the roads and traffic every 10 minutes.
Hope you can join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live. 30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community, not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere. And if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO Newsradio.
John Curley here. You know that moment when your house feels colder than it should? You turn up the thermostat and nothing? For over a decade, I've trusted the team at Home Comfort Alliance. They show up when they say they will, and they get straight to work, and they do it right. They've been keeping homes comfortable for over 40 winters. Remember, for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, including standby generators, call the comfort people, Home Comfort Alliance, or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
For the news you trust.
Breaking news we are getting.
Experience matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
The real estate market is picking up and you want to sell with the best. You need to work with the Novak team. Mike Novak guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If not, he'll sell it for free. Go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell it for you. Meet the Novaks Novaks.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1.